comment that was made on Facebook the other day about being a submissive woman. They were saying that a submissive woman controls her man, and I agree with that. I think until we begin to talk in honesty and transparency and stop pandering to both sides, especially to the sisters, because there is so much entitlement, and because men have been quiet for so long, and it's been the men that has been quiet were the type of men that y'all really need to be listening to. The men that doing the most talking ain't the ones, they don't have nothing to say anyway.
What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Kandid Konvos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. People today, they lazy. Ain't nobody trying to put in no work. If stuff start getting a little rough in the relationship or in the marriage, ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. Like, I mean, that's how people's mindsets are today. Yeah, but that's how I know that folks don't truly understand what marriage was about, because they tap out way too easy. Yeah, you see people fight harder for a job, like they can't go get another one of them in 2 weeks. Yeah, she's talking about these guys coming to these foreign countries and sourcing out these foreign women because they possess these character traits. Yep, they're more cooperative when it comes to a man, or they're more cooperative when it comes to a marriage and a relationship. They're more, nurturing forward when it comes to a relationship. They're more I don't even want to use the word soft, but I'll use the word soft. They're softer when it comes to, these relationships and interactions with men and so forth. And like I said, we definitely got to be honest. We see a difference, right? We see a difference. And I think, Chloe and Tay made some good points earlier. A lot of this stuff is based around money over here in the West. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Chloe on deck. Say what's up to the people, Chloe.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. All right, that's more like it. It was a little quiet over here. I'm like, what's going on? Shout out to y'all for joining us tonight. Do me a favor. Smash that like button for us. Likes are free. So hit that like button for us. Also hit that share. We want to get this content to as many of our people as possible. And we want, folks to have access to us. We want to have access to others. I said to change some mindsets, to move us in a better direction. So, man, hit that share button as well. We want to get this out. All right. So let me I said drop a comment, let us know where you're checking in from if you're joining us tonight. Let me check everything, make sure we all clear. All right, cool. All right, let me do this real quick while I'm thinking about it. Here's the link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. If you're coming through Apple device, you got to use Safari. But man, join us on the panel. You do have the ability to cut your camera off if you choose, but we always encourage you to keep it on. That's to bring your face up here on the cam with us. Don't be scared. In addition to the video feed here, you can also catch this link in all of the chat feeds. So check it, get this link at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube, which I see we got a couple folks over there right now. Or you can hit the Kandid Konvos page on Facebook and get it that way as well. If all else fails, shoot us a message. We'll send it to you directly. But I'll lead us up for a little bit as we get into the conversation. Let me check some of these comments. Let's see who we got checking in. Donovan in the building. He said, hey, fam, what's up, though? You done threw an S in there, Donovan? What's going on with that S, man? I know what you meant. Appreciate you holding us down, brother. Let's see. The real one. Hello. What's going on, the real one? Appreciate you holding us down. On the YouTube, always popping up on the show. We appreciate you supporting. Let's see. Kenyatta say happy Wednesday. What's going on, Kenyatta? We appreciate you joining us tonight as well. Always holding us down every Wednesday night. Appreciate you. Let's see. We got JR checking in. We got Vince checking in. Let me go and move y'all around a little bit. All right, I'm going to drop this link for a minute, and then we'll get on into this. Let me come on back. What Donovan say? He said, damn, spell check got me again. Man, got me again. Man, what's what's going on?
Oh my God!
Donovan, that spell check tripping, man. It's all good, man. I know what you meant. He said, what up, though? I know what you meant, man. It's all good. Appreciate you, man. All right, let me check real quick, man. Somebody said the peoples be trying to mess with us. Let me just check this real quick before we get into this conversation. I don't need no problems tonight. Okay, we still going. Nobody messing with us just yet. All right, cool. So yeah, we got almost full panel tonight. Everybody checking in tonight. All right, so we're gonna go get on into this. We ain't gonna hold this up. We're gonna get straight to it tonight. We got a couple videos that came over. Some interesting stuff down here. Yeah, a couple things. All right, so let's get on into it. Topic for the night. You should have stayed with your husband. Okay, let me run that back. Topic for the night. You should have stayed with your husband. Let's see. Kenyatta said, I'm about to work out and listen. Thanks, Donovan. Okay, all right. I don't know, Kenyatta, what type of workout we talking? Never mind. Let me get him. All right. Let's go on and get into this conversation. So we got a couple videos. So we're going to kick off this first one.
My first love, like my first man that I ever encountered with, did everything with, was supposed to be my husband, but I was the one that messed it up. Now, God revealed this to me right after I got saved, and he revealed this to me in a dream. And I haven't talked to my first love in like, it has probably been over 7 years, going on 8 years since I last talked to him. Now when I was with him, I was with him for about 7 years, and he was like my childhood boyfriend. And I got with him when I was 13. Yes, I was young. And then we broke up at 18. And then we reconnected when I was 21, and we stopped talking it when I was 22. And when I was 22, he was trying to marry me, and I didn't want to get married. I got scared. And just a little background with me and him, he got saved within the middle of our relationship. He found God in the middle of our relationship, and he used to tell me about what the information and the new knowledge that he was getting, and at the time I didn't want to hear it. What my focus was worldly. I wanted to party. I wanted to be with my friends. And then at that time, like, it was like a tug of war with me and him. Like, he was fighting for me, but I was like trying to go astray, kind of. And when we reconnected when I was 21, 22, we were going to church together, and then we were supposed to come up with like a courtingship with the elder, and I ended up bailing. And then right after that, I had a baby. And at that time, like, I just thought that he was just boring and he didn't want to do nothing. He only wanted to go to church. He didn't want to go out or travel or do anything that I wanted to do at my young tender mind, at my young tender age. And really, I regret it, because I'm 28 now, and like, the problems that we were having weren't problems that I had with other men. Like, he was the first man that would ever like pray for me, that ever like talk about God. Like, he was the first and only man that like wanted God to be in the center of our relationship. And that was really a blessing, but I took it for granted, and I thought that it was something better out here, me being too selfish and too worldly. And of course I had a baby with another man or whatever, not with him, but I just regret it. And like, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I was watching a video about Tia and Tamira. Well, the famous twins. Tamira, she divorced her husband, and it just seemed like she's spiraling, and she regret her decision. And that's like reminds me of me. Like, I regret my decision. And I know that I'm making this video also is because I know that it's women out there that be like, oh, I want a man that's going to do this, that, and the third, that's going to pay for this and pay for that. Don't you want a man that's going to pray for you? Like, you should want a man that wants to pray for you, that know God, that want God to be in the center, that want to marry you without a doubt. And like, a lot of us got it messed up, and it's really the enemy that made me go astray from him, because he knew that was that was sent by God. Like, he was supposed to be my husband, and I didn't have to go from man to man to find him. It was just like right there. Like, God sent him first, and the enemy got in my mind. And of course, outside people was like, oh, you're not gonna end up being with him. You need to explore. You need to find out if that's really what you want. And I'm here to tell you, if you have a God-fearing man, a man that's going to pray for you when things is hard, you got a good man. Regardless of the situation, if you want a man with a bigger bag, help him get a bigger bag. Like, it's really nobody out here for real that's like that. So I'm just saying, like, I'm just coming on here to say, if don't leave your man for 10% of what he don't got. It's not worth it. You don't want to be like me, like feeling like you missed the opportunity. And I don't know if he might come across this video, but I'm sorry. I didn't know no better. I was worldly. I was of this world. I loved this world too much at one point in my life. And I changed. Like, I realized he who loves the world don't love God, period. So, like, don't leave your husband for a situationship or a boyfriend. It's not worth it.
Man, let me let that sit for a minute, man. Oh, man. Let me get.
I mean,
go ahead. I'm gonna get some comments.
Shout out to her for at least recognizing the error. But why does it take for us to go all the way left? And I'm saying us because we all have the ability to do this. Why does it always take for us to go all the way left and just hit rock bottom? And then we're like, oh, I should have. And how many times are we going to say single? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go there. Single women keep women single. because she was seeing external people, her girls was in her ear saying, "Oh, you couldn't have possibly found the one at 13. He could not have possibly be the one." Like, that's crazy work, right? With God, all things are possible. And not to get too religious on you guys, but she did mention that, he had got saved and he was basically trying to help save her soul. Meanwhile, she wanted to be in the streets. So we have to acknowledge when it's enemy, and then we have to acknowledge when it's us. Just say you wanted to be in the streets. Just say, like she said, I was worldly. Just say that's where your mind was, and you fumbled a man. You fumbled a good man. And isn't that the story, right? So when men are saying you're going to hit the wall, and then that man that was boring and didn't have the bag and all of those things, all of a sudden he's going to start looking better and better, right? I feel like we focus sometimes too much on what's right now. And we're not thinking of our future. We're not thinking about how these decisions will age. We're not thinking about what it's going to feel like when we age. Like, you can only be in the streets for so long. And then being in the streets and being for the streets ain't cute anymore. It stops being cute. And it stops being productive. And now, you had a baby, and thankfully you had a healthy baby. But now you have a baby. You have a child, right? It's just going to make things for you at this point a lot harder. And I can't, I'm not gonna go in on her, because she was really trying to take accountability, but at least she shared her testimony. Let it be a cautionary tale for other young women.
No, that's real right. Let me get some of these comments, then I'm gonna come back to the panel. See, Donovan said, "Boy, women most times cheat backwards." Okay, all right. Appreciate that comment right there. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Hink, the basement in the building. He said, "God damn." Yeah, it was a lot in that story, man. Appreciate you, man. Joining us tonight, holding us down, Hink. Let's see. Shout out to Eva Wright. She said, "Let's see. Hey, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you, Eva Wright. Appreciate you joining us as well." See, Kenyatta says, "So now she's a baby mama and she doesn't like that." Yeah, she made some decisions, and yeah, I'm gonna leave that right there. See, Donovan said, "Unsatisfied women seek something new to cheat with in hopes of leveling up, searching for something better." And Donovan, I don't even think in her case it was a act of cheating. Like, it just sounds like she left my man for, the reasons she gave, the boring and all this and all that, and made a decision, had a baby with somebody else. And now she thinking back, and I mean, now she I don't even know if she wanted to do over, but I think she's thinking back about her decision. And, like she said, she regret the decision. So yeah, interesting story. Plus, Eva Wright said, "First of all, girl, shut up." Eva said, "Shut that down." Eva Wright also said, "I agree. Don't leave for a situationship. That's all. I bet though." Let's see. I agree. Don't leave for a situationship. That's all. I bet those. Let's see. I bet those she listened to weren't married and probably have never been. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, we have to be careful about who we listen to. Because I hear that quote. Single women keep women single. Or women keep, other women keep women single. I hear that all the time. I said, I'm starting to see, based on some of these videos I've seen and some of these conversations I'm in, that there's some validity to that. Donovan also said these mental and emotional unstable women have to fail drastically in order to figure out right from wrong. Yeah, and I think, Donovan, that's the question. Why? Yeah, to Chloe's point, or to Chloe's question, why do you have to hit rock bottom? Why does everything got to go south? Why do your relationships got to fail for you to understand that you got to make some different decisions? Or that this particular guy who was showing all the valuable pieces, you overlook him and pass him up. Yeah, it's wild. Let's see. Donovan also said, "Funny how men are intimidated to get married, but these modern women run and won't stop running from a marriage potential." Yeah, there's some validity right there too, Donovan. I gotta agree with you on that, man. I'm starting to notice that as well. Yeah, I know we like to say that these dudes are scared of commitment, but I keep seeing example after example after example where young ladies, they're a little scared of commitment themselves. Um, so yeah, that's a good comment, man. Appreciate that. See, Donovan also says she had a baby on old boy. She cheated. I got you. I got what you're saying.
You know what? The time. She didn't get a timeline. Something is sketchy. You're right, Donovan. Something sketchy about that because she
Well,
said in
she
the process of us, she said we were supposed to go to couples counseling, right? With his pastor, whatever. We supposed to go to couples counseling, but I chickened out or whatever she said. She didn't go. And then in the process, she ended up getting pregnant by another man. She didn't say the timetable. She really didn't.
thought she
So
did.
we don't know.
Hold on. I thought she did.
Me being or whatever. I just regret it and like the fame of my decision. Paid for that without a doubt. It was that was sent by God. Like he been me that ever like talk about God. Like
my bad, I can't find it right now. I could have swore there was a point where she said that they had kind of separated and then they rekindled.
She did, but she didn't say how long.
Yeah, I thought she rekindled around like 21. And
right.
then
She said she was 21 when and they broke up at 21. She said they broke up at 21. They got back together at 22 and was supposed to do some couples counseling. She was like, but she didn't do. She ended up canceling on the couples counseling, and of course, in the process, she ended up having a baby by another man. But she didn't give the timeline, a year. So basically, you broke up 21, 22. You decided you was going to do couples counseling. Did you get pregnant between 21 and 22? Or did you get pregnant after you decided to ditch the couples counseling?
I got you.
So she didn't give a timeline. So I guess you could.
I got you. Let me keep going. Let's see. Shout out to Mark Kendall holding down YouTube. He says some women pass up on the guy that the man upstairs sent them. Yeah, all the time. If a lot of ladies out here, they probably done already met their husband. He probably worked with him. He probably was cool with him at some point. Might have been her neighbor. Yeah, they just good comment. Appreciate that comment, Mark. See, Kenyatta says some women think they will find better. Yeah, there's always that grass. What they say, that grass greener, and it rarely ever goes that way. See, Donovan said omitting key points is an admission of guilt. Okay, man, y'all putting her in court, man. Donovan also said they broke up only in her mind. 9 months ain't long. Man, I understand, man. Like I said, if you haven't already, anybody watching right now, hit that like button for us. Hit that like button for us if you haven't already. All right, let me come back to the panel. So we got Vince, JR, we got Joe. And y'all want to comment on this at all? Vince, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I want to make a comment. I think that this is starting to become a cultural thing. I was at a wedding this past weekend, and I seen a young couple. I had seen a brother at the bachelor party I went to. Young brother, probably in his late 20s, graduated from Central, Kappa brother. He works for, I think it's Merrill Lynch or something. So he was there with his date. Very pretty girl. Tall too. She was about 5'7" with heels on. She was statuesque, like model type. So I'm talking to them. I'm talking to her. So I'm like, well, how long you guys been dating? Because I knew him, but I thought, oh, no, we ain't dating. I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, oh, okay. And then as they were taking pictures, you could kind of tell that she's for the gram because he took like 70 pictures. She over here, she over there, she here, she there. So I think a lot of times these young ladies have gotten bad advice from their mothers and their grandmothers. That girl, you too young. Girl, live your best life. And then you got the other ladies who maybe graduated college. Then it's okay. I'm gonna live my hot girl summer. I know so many ladies, and if they would just tell the truth, it would be shocking. That said, I missed 3 or 4 guys, you know, trying to make my career, or I thought it was something better out there, or I wasn't ready yet. Then they wait till they in their mid-30s. Now the clock is ticking, and all the guys that they wanted are married. And they hit the wall, as your boy Kevin Samuels, would say. But I've ran into a lot of women that wish they would have stayed with their first husbands too.
Yeah.
But they got in a period of this quote unquote unhappiness, and they let them go, and now they faking and shaking, talking about, "Ooh, I'm so glad I'm lonely and single and girl tripping."
Right. No, that's real right there. That's real. Let me check in with JR. Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
I echo the same sentiment that Chloe had. That it was a cautionary tale, basically, and I think the best decision she ever made thus far was to release that PSA video and set aside her ego, whatever feelings and hurt that she feels personally, and letting other younger women than herself who may be going through a similar situation from making the same mistake. Because if there's any video that needs to go viral, it's that one. Because we see a lot of videos of women saying and doing the opposite, misleading a lot of women because they are much more susceptible to society and what's going on in the world. So that's the best thing I think she did. Now, I think she took a risk. She gambled. She lost. She thought she had a better hand, or she was hoping for a better hand. But it was only after she realized that she, in fact, had the best hand of all, that she can reflect on it and regret the decision she made. I don't think she would regret it as much had she found what she thought she was looking for. So, but hindsight is 2020, right? So she can't go back in time and redo what she did, or take back the life that I can see on her face that she realizes she could have had compared to the life that she's living right now. A life where she's not having a child out of wedlock. She's not a single mother. She probably would have had 2, 3 kids by now. She would have had a great story to tell. She would have been a poster child for a lot of women to follow. But now she's having to be the woman whom you don't want to be like, right? This is what happens when you put your hand on the stove and leave it there for too long, as opposed to never having put our hand on the stove in the first place and being that example. So we can be one or two examples in this world. We can be that of a positive influence for people and say, I want to be like this person. Or you can be, well, wow, this person's been through so much. I don't want to repeat the same mistakes this person did. So then the question then becomes, what example do you want to set for the people? Do you want to be the positive role model or the role model in a way that no one wants to be?
That's real right there, and I appreciate that, man. Let me say this, because I think this is the part that's really got me. So I know the young lady did the video, and she's saying that she regrets her decision and all of that. But let me run down some of the things that she said. She says she had a God-fearing man. She says she had a man who prayed for her. She says she had a man who wanted to marry her. She says she had a man that would fight for her. Ladies, what's the problem? I done seen a million dating shows. I done seen enough pop the balloons. I done seen Kendra G singles. I done seen it all. I always hear y'all asking for God fearing. I always hear y'all asking for a man who gonna pray for you, a man who gonna fight for you, a man who want to marry and commit to you. Like I hear these same things all the time, but yet you still pass my man up. Like what's really good? Like the stuff that this girl named off is the stuff that's on y'all list. Because it's almost, when I hear these lists, it'd be like a record on repeat. It's the same stuff. And then let me add in 6 foot and 6'6" to 6 and 6 figures. I add that little material garbage in. But I hear these same things from all the ladies. It don't even matter what age. I hear from ladies in their 20s. I hear from ladies in their 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way up to their 60s. The same thing. Especially, I want a God-fearing man. And this young lady is saying she had all of that while she was still young and still passed it up. So, ladies, I need y'all to make me understand what's the real problem. Somebody school me, because based on what she said, she just had the ideal man who was trying to be her husband and still blew him off. So somebody educate me as to what are the ladies actually looking for? What are they going to be content with? What's enough? Like, somebody school me. Go ahead, Vince. I see you and Joe came off.
I'm
Joe, you want to
gonna make mine real quick. I'm gonna make mine real quick. They don't know what they want. Now, first of all, God-fearing man only mean a man that won't cheat. It has nothing to do with God. Has nothing to. They say God-fearing man because that equates to a man that won't cheat. That's what that's about. Now, mind you, in this political discussion that we're having until November, I had a lady tell me, I don't know if I told y'all this, I don't want to talk to a guy that says he's a Republican. Nah. She said that she was hooked up with a guy. And so she went to his Facebook page first to see, because that's what people do now. You go, I want you to meet somebody. He got a Facebook page. So he's a Republican. I said, oh, okay. Well, the men that I know who would dare to say that they're Republican are usually good guys. They're usually successful. They're usually family men. They're usually about their business. And they just lean more about the bread. Right. Where if he's a Republican, he's just ignorant. But see, I know most of the people that are my Facebook friends. So I know their story. And see, me, sometimes I got to hold back because I wanted to say, didn't you marry a felon? Wasn't your ex-husband in prison for murder? But but you're going to cross out a guy because he's a Republican, but he's actually a good guy. But they'll date felons, they'll date scammers, cheaters, dudes that got a bunch of babies, dudes that got bad credit, because they don't care about none of that. All they care about is what makes them feel good. That's it. That's all it is. It's a feeling. They don't use the logical brain. That, okay, what do I really need in a man? So what if he leans Republican? He's a good man. Well, he ignorant, but you, well, I gave him a chance. You know what they do, Chloe? Well, I just gave him a chance. So I don't think women, I don't think they know what they want. And these is older women. Me and Remy tried to hook a girl up with somebody, and I don't want to go and hit his DM. But you dealing with a dude that done put you on the sideline for 20 years. I don't think they know what they want, Quay. And the more you talk to them, the more you understand that. And the more you talk to them, it's a reason why they single. And it ain't nothing to do with pissing in the swimming pool or nothing like that. They pick wrong and they don't know what they want. That's real right there. They'll never be content. That's another thing that's real bad, because they have been lied to and said you can have it all. You cannot have it all. Not at the same time. You cannot have it all. There's a sacrifice to be made somewhere. And they want it all, or they want nothing. They want it all or nothing. And most of them get nothing.
There it is. Appreciate that, JR. What you want to say, man?
Yeah, I was just say, hello everyone on the panel and everyone in the chat. So yeah, it was a very tough watch. because I'll say this, um, for the men, I wouldn't necessarily say that men are ready to get married, right? You know, off rip. I think it's something that you still have to try and mentally prepare for, same as a lady and whatnot. So I'll give her that. So that's why I'll say, for the guy that she was dating, there's a few of the good guys per se, rather than, you know, the guys that she ended up getting pregnant from. Um, so obviously with the things that she said, I was sitting there thinking like, what is the point of men having a desire to actually be good men if the pool of the ladies that we have out here do not actually desire that type of guy until later on in life, after they've done gone left. Now they feel like, you know, I need to go right. So that's why the situations now carry on being messy, because the guys see what the play is. The good guys getting, you know, sent to the side, and the bad guys are getting the good treatment, or, you know, the so-called good treatment. But in sorry, in reality, it's not. So majority of the guys follow the trend of the bad side, you know, and then that's where the circle just continues, because there's no desire for the ladies to want a good man, and for the men that are trying to be good men, or they think that being a good man is what you should be, are just not getting the result. So we end up just piling on onto the rubbish that is already out there, and we just make it even worse.
So let me respond to your point. Where you was essentially, when you were saying what's the point of a guy essentially being a good guy if the ladies are not essentially checking for him. At the end of the day, a guy needs to be a good guy, you know, essentially for him.
Of course.
Yeah. But forget what she talking about. Because see, at the end of the day, if she can't understand or appreciate a good guy, then she shouldn't be in your pool anyway. So that's the first thing, right? So forget what she talking about, right? Because in this situation right here is a prime example of that. So the dude that she was with, he was a good dude, clearly. Yeah, I can tell how she speaks about my man. And the fact that she even says that she regrets it tells me that he was a halfway decent dude. Yeah, but he wasn't about to bend on that just because she was over here talking about she wanted to be worldly and be out in the streets. He was going to continue on his path, right? And like she said, during their relationship, he went and got saved and started moving himself in a different direction, right? So I gotta give my man his props. Yeah, regardless of what was going on around him, he was locked into his purpose and kept on down his road. So if she couldn't appreciate that and understand that and want to align with that, then she probably wasn't the woman for him. So essentially, he dodged the bullet. But at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff, like I said in the video, it was a hard watch, because so much of that goes on. Yep, so much of that goes on out here today. You got a lot of fellas who are about their business, who do move a certain way. If they are serious about the women they interact, they are looking to make a commitment, you know, lock down a wife, secure a family, and move forward in purpose. But they running into these situations where now, let's say, because I don't think we've been being honest about this for a long time now. Yep, now we have a situation where the guys who are ready to commit are running into women who are scared to commit. And see, this used to be a flip-flop. Yeah, we was hearing this back in younger age, back in high school times. The ladies was talking about they wanted to be married, and I'm sure we all heard the stories of the white picket fence and all of these things. So this never really got talked about. We never really talked about the fact of women being in a situation where they didn't want to commit. We never talk about that. Yeah, because if you look at how we do things, it's typically the man. The man does not want to commit. He's scared to get married. what the lady say, he too slow, he moving too slow. It's all of that stuff. But rarely ever do we talk about young ladies, in this young lady's example, and I'm sure there's plenty like her, where they don't want to commit. Yeah, they want to be out here in these streets. They want to live it up. They want to go, what we used to call, they used to go put their Daisy Dukes on. They want to be out here getting it in. But see, we never really talk about that. Yeah, so see, now this gives us a situation of a man who's ready to commit, who's got his mind right, who's praying over his woman, who's doing things the right way, and even he is getting thrown off to the side, and I think she labeled him as boring. And I'm like, here we go with this again. Now, boring used to be stable. Women used to say, I want a stable man, a man with stability. I still hear that on the dating shows. I want a stable man. Okay, well, we had a stable man and he still got threw off to the side. So that's why I got to go back to my question. What is it that y'all want? Yeah, I know Vince say y'all don't know what y'all want, but we starting to see some things. Because at the end of the day, you got that dude, this young lady had that dude right in front of her. Yep, and threw him off to the side. But then this is the kicker. This is when I say, what the heck is going on? This is the kicker. So you throw that young man off to the side, then you go have a child with somebody else. Yeah, but I'm gonna make an assumption. I don't know the young lady personally. I'm gonna make an assumption. I'm going to assume that he's not around. Yeah, that's my assumption. Because if he was with you actively in a relationship, my assumption is you probably wouldn't be on TikTok making a video about regretting breaking up with your possible husband prior to him. You probably wouldn't be doing that if y'all was in an active, successful relationship. So I'm going to assume that he's not around. But then you'll go have a child with that guy. And then now you want to say that you regret not moving forward with the previous guy that was praying for you. Man, somebody got to help me make this make sense. Let me get some of these comments and I'm gonna come back to the panel. Let me get some of these comments real quick. As they was coming in. Let's see. Where did we start? Let's see. Eva Wright. Let's see. Oh, I think that was the older comment. I ain't about to do it, Donovan. You fighting words. Let's see. Kenyatta said what she said. Let's see. They are scared. Okay. How long are they gonna be scared, Kenyatta? Let's see. They don't want to give up their independence. We got to talk about that too. This independence that we keep talking about. Eva Wright said it seems like if they don't get everything on their list, let's see, they don't get everything on their list that they are settling, and many are told not to settle. Let me write that down. See, here y'all go with this settling. Okay, let me write that on down. Let's see. Donovan said they ask for what sounds good. They want what looks good. They go after what they feel their best friend wants, just to say they had it, and they can get it again anytime they want to. Okay, so essentially you're saying we showing off for other people. That's basically what you're saying. When it comes to our relationship, we showing off for other folks. That's wild right there. See, Donovan said, let's see, women count declined marriage proposal as value notches on their belt. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't really think that reflects that way, but yeah, I've seen that. Donovan also said her baby daddy had the it factor. Her potential husband probably wasn't that attractive by her friends' standards. Yeah, like I said, once again, we got to start being careful on who we listening to. Go ahead, Chloe.
I have a question. Okay. I know we didn't put the comment up because we trying to be, PC
Which
today.
one?
But Donovan's comment about women don't realize, I want to ask a question about that.
Where is that comment at? Oh, here we go.
Women don't realize men are the only ones who can increase their body count and not lose value and always find a better mate. Why? Okay, so this is not the first time I've heard this, but I want to hear it from the male perspective. I would like for a man to break it down in, a clear,
come on,
nice way. Why is this so? Right? Like genuinely, like why is it so that a man can increase his body count and not lose value and always find a better mate? What's the difference and why is this so?
Okay, yeah, drop a comment, Donovan. You better respond to this, man. I literally put
Donovan
this
or
up here.
any of the gentlemen on the panel who also agree and would like to explain or expand on that.
So okay, so I will give some input on this. So I think this is typically explained by what women want, what versus what men want. So women are typically looking for a man with resources, not necessarily concerned about his body count per se. On the flip side, men are typically looking for a woman who hasn't been, well, some men are looking for a woman who hasn't been touched that much, and who also possesses the characteristics of a wife. So she is nurturing, she has a good attitude. As people say, she's fit and friendly. She knows how to take care of home. She knows how to interact with others. She knows how to support what he got going on. So looking at different things from the opposite sex. So that's my explanation on this one right here.
Hmm. I, hmm. I think from my experience, part of the reason is like a spiritual thing. Like I notice when women that I'm um, affectionate with or intimate with, I notice that they tend to mold and shape their personalities or their desires, their wants, their needs according to what the man wants. So they typically follow the man. So if enough men are, let's say, putting their seed in a woman, she's going to adopt some traits of those men that she's been with over a period of time. It's not something that's immediate. It's kind of like when you look in the mirror, we don't see the changes that happens to ourselves. But if you go 10 years of span of time between say 2000, 2010, and you meet someone from 2000 and they go absent 2010, they'll notice the difference, but you don't see it yourself. So, but we notice it in the women. It's just something that they all do. It's always, I don't even think it's intentional. It's kind of like they adapt to their environment. They adapt to the man that they're with. Men are much less likely to be moldable, to be shapeable, and to be formed in that way. Um, and so we just kind of like intuitively understand that. And when the man is penetrating a woman, that's about as intimate as it could possibly get. And she's going to take on some of those characteristics of those previous men, for better or for worse. So that's how you get a lot of women who get like really mad and aggressive, or some men who seemingly been with several women, but they were the way they are the way they were for since they were teenagers. They haven't really changed a whole lot. Now, that's not to say that men should go around and do that type of thing, because I've seen the damaging effects that it does to men who do sleep around. It's not. It affects us in different ways. You spend a lot of money. You spend a lot of time. You Every man knows that feeling when you climax after sex. It's like you don't feel as passionate about a woman. You don't feel as motivated to accomplish a lot of things. You spend a lot of time dealing with women, so your potential is lost. So for a woman, it's like her virtue becomes lost, but for a man, his potential becomes lost. So we lose things in different ways from promiscuity. It's just in a different form. It's not good for either one. I don't think it's good for a man to say, well, we can get away with it. And a woman, it's kind of like that double standard thing. We can a little bit more, a little bit better in a different way, but it definitely affects us in a lot of other ways. I've seen men become sick emotionally, spiritually from dealing with so many women, releasing themselves so much and just giving themselves away. They lose all that spark that they used to have when they were younger. It's just something about we should value our seed a lot more than we do, but we don't. And we think it's just because it's there and it reproduces and it happens, we just throw it away. And that has a long term effect on us. I don't know how to quite put it, and I don't want to go too esoteric on it, but that's just my experience myself personally, as well as observing the men who participate in those activities. And lastly, to Quay's question, you ask, well, why do women want and expect these things? They say they want these things, the God-fearing, loving, kind, all these other things that you will read in the Bible, for example. I would say it's kind of like if I told you I want to be a millionaire, everybody wants to be a millionaire. I don't know anyone who's ever told me that they don't want to be a millionaire, but we all understand that to be a millionaire, it takes a certain mindset. It takes a process. You have to develop skills and create a value that translates to $1 million that ends up in your bank account. And so because we don't know her background, her family background, her upbringing, whether or not the father was in the home, whether or not if he was in the home, was it healthy? We don't know all these different details that could have influenced her future decisions. We that can be kind of like a weird thing where it's like Jekyll and Hyde. You know, you want something, but you don't know, you don't have the character, or your subconscious isn't trained to accept it. You self-sabotage as she did. So you can say you want something, idealistically, it looks good to have. But if we're not mentally trained and have the skill sets in order to be prepared to be a wife, to be a mother, then you can want something all you want, but it doesn't translate to real world results. You can actually end up getting the opposite of what you want, which is actually what your subconscious wants, but you may not even realize it. And lastly, I think we can all be redeemed for sure. She has. I think she's doing pretty good work in that front, so I commend her for it. But at the same time, we can't escape the consequences of our past decisions either. If I stub my toe, I can recover from that. I can walk, lay in bed for a week or whatever and heal. But if I break my foot and it needs to be amputated, there's no getting back to that. I can't ever recover my foot that I lost. Now I can adjust. I can adapt to the situation, and me not having my foot, I'll be hobbling around, walking with a cane maybe. I won't be able to run the same way I can again, but at least I can walk somewhat again. So I can get a semblance of what I could have had I not lost my foot. But once you lose your foot, there's no coming back from it. But on the bright side, you can say, well, I didn't lose my life. So that's the situation here. She lost her foot. She didn't stub her toe. There are some mistakes that we can't come back from and recover from and bounce back as easily. And some mistakes, unfortunately, are permanent. This is a mistake, unfortunately, she's going to reflect on for the rest of her life at a very young age. Now, you hope that some of the regrets that we have in life, we can look back and say, I could have did this better, did that better when we're 60, 70, 80 years old. But when you're that young, having realized you made such a terrible mistake that you can't recover from because you had to amputate that foot, then I think that's a very sad thing to see. So I don't rejoice in it. I think a lot of men might look at it and laugh and say, well, that's what you get. They'll gloat and point their finger and say, well, we told y'all, but I don't think that's even necessary. Just look at it and just have some level of empathy and just say, well, let's see. I hope the other ones that come behind her don't follow on her path.
Right. No, that's real right there. Appreciate that. Chloe, do you want to go somewhere with that one, with that question? Are you good? You muted. Come off mute.
Sorry, no, I was just saying, I was just curious and wanting the men to kind of describe it. I mean, I do get the general concept, but I agree in some ways with Joe that I don't think that it's a good precedent to set that, one over the other. Aesthetically, I get it. It looks a lot worse for a woman. There's some emotional turmoil that she goes through. I totally understand that. But I think that men are missing maybe the finer details of what it does to them as well, because there is a negative impact that it has on men as well. And I think that needs to be, that does need to be considered, right? Because, it wasn't relationships and physical intimacy wasn't really set up to be the way that we portray it on either side. So, yeah, that's all. I was just curious how the men were going to explain it. But.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus. At least that's what I hear all the time. That's usually how that's explained. But to your point, yeah, when it comes to that space, we definitely got to tighten that up. Yeah, Joe made some valid points. When it comes to that, it does affect the men as well. Men do, walk around acting like it don't affect. It do. Yeah, when you out there like that, it do. It kills your focus, have you all over the place, straying away from your purpose. Like it affects you. Yeah, let's just go down to the scientific level. You getting drained out. There's all type of minerals, vitamins coming all up out your body. It affects us. So I know we try to act like it don't, but it affects us. But to Chloe's point, we reckless on both sides. And I think that's essentially how we have to approach that. Yeah, you know, we talked about this in the previous conversation, you know what I'm saying? Fellas, and I'm gonna say it again. Everybody can't get the D. If everybody ain't worthy of the D, just because she a female don't mean she can get it. No. Let me say it like that. And the same thing go for the young ladies. Ladies, everybody can't get they can't get the PV, whatever you want to call it. No. Because everybody ain't worthy. Everybody ain't coming correct. So now on both sides, we have to be more responsible when it comes to that. Yeah, because it does. It affects everybody. Yeah, if the women get affected, the men get affected. Going back to the video, the young lady, she's sitting here doing the video, baby in the back seat. And she over here talking about how she regret cutting off the first guy, the guy who was probably meant for her, who was sent, like she said, who was sent to her. The baby in the back seat on the tablet. And she probably thinking about that thing, like, man, I could be here with my husband and we have our little kid in the back seat, going over here to get some Chick-fil-A. And it's like, nah, it's just her. It's just her and the baby. And my man, I'm willing to bet money, and I don't know the young lady personally. I'm willing to bet money that the brother probably married. He probably off married with a family somewhere else at church. Like, and I guarantee you the wife probably not talking about he boring either. So yeah, like I said, we just got to be more responsible what we doing out here, man, and get our mindsets right. Our mindsets are all over the place. We're allowing a lot of this nonsense out here, this social media, these old fake celebrities. We allowing these folks to influence how we move and how we think. Yeah, but it's only to our detriment. Yeah, we watching how it plays out now. This young lady in the video, this is only one example. I'm sure there's millions of examples of that. Yeah, but they just ain't had the balls to sit down and make a video. So yeah, we really got to consider that. But I got two more. I don't know, y'all be sending me some wild stuff lately. So I got another one and a curveball. So we're gonna see what it is.
So I was just at the gas station and this guy was like, oh, let me pump your gas for you. A pretty lady shouldn't be pumping her own gas. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. It's also $60 premium to fill up my BMW. And he's like, oh, no. I wasn't trying to pay for your gas. I just wanted to pump it for you. Like, go away. Ladies, if you want a man to leave you alone, bring up money. Bring up money. I swear to God, he was out of there. He didn't even pump my gas, all right?
You know what? I'm gonna give her a run back. Just because this is some funny stuff right here.
So I was just at the gas station and this guy was like, oh, let me pump your gas for you. A pretty lady shouldn't be pumping her own gas. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. It's also $60 premium to fill up my BMW. And he's like, oh, no. I wasn't trying to pay for your gas. I just wanted to pump it for you. Like, go away. Ladies, if you want a man to leave you alone, bring up money. Bring up money. I swear to God, he was out of there. He didn't even pump my gas, all right?
Go ahead.
Can I please be the first one to respond?
Go ahead, man.
It's funny because Remy said the same thing. Like, if you want to see what a guy really talk about, ask him for some money. And if he real, he gonna step up. And if he fake, you need to leave him alone anyway. I agree with her. Don't sit up and try to smile in my face and pump my gas. You see me, you know what it is. So if you gonna come, you better come correct. If you ask to pump it, you better pay for it. I get it what she's saying. Don't come in here wasting my time. I don't need nobody to pump my gas. Need somebody to pay for my gas.
Goes. Burr, burr, burr.
I get what she's saying, because a dude will waste your time. I know a lot of ladies who they
I
be getting
mean,
these, what you doing, good morning, queen. Look, when you gonna
Hold
take me out
on,
to eat?
Vince. Hold
See,
on, man. What?
I agree. I agree. I
What?
agree.
No,
When you
no,
come,
no,
you
no,
gotta.
no, no, no,
Hey,
no.
female
you
Everybody
see
drop a
what she
perspective.
comment.
looking like.
Everybody drop a
Wait a
comment.
minute. Wait a minute. You see what she looking like. You think you
What
gonna
that
come over
mean?
there and get some old Johnny come? Oh, I just want to come over here. A bum can do that. What I need you for?
Wow.
A guy over here asking for $1 can pump my gas for me.
Man.
Right. Go
Okay,
on.
You
so
know me, Quay. I keep it 100. I get
Nah,
her. You want me to come over? You gonna pay for it? Or well, I just, you my queen, and I just, these niggas out here slick, Quay, and they cheap and they broke, and
wait a
they want to
minute, Vince.
waste a bunch of time. They do. They want to waste a bunch. Hey, my queen, my goddess, my black queen. What's up? How you doing? When are you gonna take me out? That's what I want to know. I don't need all that other stuff. I feel her 100%. She fine, she young, and she probably can get it. I don't blame her.
Man, go ahead, Chloe. Go ahead.
okay, so
Interesting.
she may be all of those things, but I'm just gonna come with a slightly different perspective. I think that we are also getting a little bit away from understanding what what it actually means to be in your soft era, and what it means to be feminine, and what it means to be friendly. And what it doesn't mean is that if a man is offering to do something that a man should do, um, it's okay to accept it and not have to ask for more. It's okay for you to accept a man opening the door for you, and he might not be trying to flirt with you. He might not want anything from you. It might just be a gentlemanly gesture. It's okay for a man to say, you know what, I'll pump your gas for you so you don't have to do that, right? It could just be a guy just wanting to pump your gas for you. Now, don't get me wrong. He might have been trying to get it in a moment to try to spit game. He might have been doing that, but he also might have wanted to pump your gas. Like, I had a guy today at the gym say, what you smiling for? And I said, because I'm happy. And I said it in a nice, kind way, like, because I'm happy. And he said, that's what I like to hear. And he smiled back and he walked away. He was not trying to flirt. It wasn't
Quay.
it wasn't like I'm trying to get her number. It wasn't anything like that. He just commented on the fact that I was smiling. And he was asking what made me smile. And it's just, I think sometimes it's okay. Like, it's okay for you to just be, I don't know, kind. I don't know. It's okay for you to accept someone else's kindness. Like, don't get me wrong. Could he have offered to pay for her gas? Sure. I mean, what's wrong with that? But is it okay for him to say, hey, I'll pump your gas for you so you don't have to do that? You can get back in the car. Maybe it's cold. Maybe it's hot. Maybe it's raining, whatever. Like, you, so now you're paying for the gas and you're pumping the gas, as opposed to, what, you can pump the gas, is go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the, well, why can't you pay for it too? I get that, and I understand that, but what's wrong with accepting the gesture? Like, is it bad to accept the gesture? Like, does it always have to be something more? Like, what? I don't know. I guess I don't know. I think about that a little differently now, because I'm trying to really understand where we went wrong with the dynamic between men and women, and why women, it always has to be something from a man. It always has to be transactional. And I guess I'm trying to understand, when did we get to the point now where you do something for me, it has to equal this. And if I do something for you, it has to equal that, right? This is where we are. And but it wasn't always that way, right? A man might see a woman struggling, walking down the street carrying something heavy, and he just offered to help her. And it wasn't because he wanted to have sex with her. And it wasn't because he expected to get something from her. He just saw a woman struggling and decided to help. So I guess, when did we get to the point where it's always got to be, it's got to be something tangible. There has to be some type of even exchange, or there has to be some type of trade. I'm just saying, for women, I'm cautioning you with this, because you're going to get to the point where you're going to genuinely just need help. And it's not going to be about nothing but just, I could use some help. And you spent all this time building up this feeling between men and women that it has to equal something, or it has to look like this, or it has to be all of this, or, you know, it has to come wrapped in a certain package, or it has to mean something that it doesn't necessarily have to mean all the time. And then men are just going to kind of stop. And then you're going to be in a situation where you really could use some help for real. And you just really just want the help. You don't need nothing else but just some help. And there's none for you. Right?
Yeah.
So I would just say, I can understand Vince's point of view. Is there some men wasting time? Sure. Are there some men that's just playing around women? Of course. But from a female perspective, I'm just speaking to the mindset of a woman and understanding what it means to be a woman and allow a man to be a man, and you learning how to accept from a man what men want to give, you know, to women, especially if they see a woman in her feminine energy. That's all I'm saying.
That's real right there. Go ahead, Vince. I'm gonna come to Cole.
I just want to comment on the difference. Do you guys remember that video where a guy saw a woman in her and her tire was flat, and she thought he was trying to talk to her or something? It's a difference in chivalry. Open the door is not the same thing as pumping gas. Pumping gas is kind of unisex. Everybody got to pump their gas. It's not like that's a manly thing or a chivalry thing or a woman thing. That's usually an end. I ain't never pumped nobody's gas. Maybe an older person, but somebody my age, if her son not in the car or something, I'm not pumping no woman's gas. For what? She pump her own gas. Now, if she's struggling to change a tire, or she got a Costco water or something and she's struggling with it, that's different. But what I'm saying is that sometimes these men will waste your time. And my thing is, if you gotta come correct. You can't go into no Benz dealership with $5. If you want something, you gonna have to pay for it. Period.
But I guess,
I don't
Vince,
see
so
no
let me.
problem if she's saying, look, if you want to come over here and waste my time is valuable. And maybe if he would have threw that 60 out, he would have got a number or something.
Yeah, but Vince, this okay, but this is my question to that though. So why does the payment always have to be money? Yeah, why can't the payment be me?
It come after that. It's just like the job. You take a job for the money. You don't take a job. Well, I'm just gonna take this job. You take the job because you want a career. You take the job for the money or a career. Now let me tell you this. If he came over there and he got out of a Mercedes and asked to pump her gas, she might not have asked him because she's seen the potential. And I'm just being real. I'm just being in reality. If she said, well, okay, I know this man could pay my 60 and it wasn't no thing, but I'm going to let him. Now, if he getting out of hoop, you want to pump I don't need you to pump my gas, and then you're going to try to talk to me. Because that's kind of invading the personal space, pumping somebody's gas. That's not like opening the door, you walking through, hey, nice, da-da-da-da.
No, but hold on, baby.
I think sometimes we got to keep it real too. We can't just expect these women to be, oh no, you got to come with something. And I'm telling men, you better get your thing together because you'll get better results. That's all I'm saying.
So why he ain't gotta come with something when he changing her tire though?
Well, that's different. Change your tire is pumping gas.
But that's my point.
That's my thing. It's a difference with chivalry and a nice gesture. Everybody pumps their own gas. That don't have nothing to do with how strong you are or your knowledge. Everybody pump their gas.
But see, ladies
So
don't.
that's
But
a
see,
little
that's the thing.
different,
That's
but
the
I get
difference,
it.
though, Vince. That's the difference, though. Ladies don't like to pump gas. I understand they will
True.
pump gas.
True.
Hold on. I understand they will pump gas, but
Mm-hmm.
just about every lady I talk to don't like to pump gas. So if a man is pumping her gas, that's definitely chivalrous. So my question is why are we picking and choosing? So if the man come change your tire, then that's okay because you needed to help. But then if a man come pump your gas, now you want to ask him for 60. See, that don't make sense. And then two, if you driving a BMW like the young lady said in the video, then why are you so worried about the money? See, that don't make sense. Because
But
see
you know
that
what?
that
I don't
piece.
think she was worried about the money. I
Oh,
think it was a test. I think it was a test.
but she didn't go. She ain't got to test my man because he didn't say he was trying to holler at her anyway. See, my point is, if you got money like that, because see, we got to call a spade a spade. If you got money like that, then the first thing coming out your mouth ain't always some money from somebody else, and that's the thing. So
Well,
I
she
hear
ain't
these
got no. Well, we
ladies.
know she ain't got no money.
I hear these ladies always
But we
talking
know
this stuff.
these ladies be capping. Quay, they ain't got no money. They got a bunch of bills and a bunch of debt. We all know that.
I
Now
understand.
that's
I
just
understand. I understand. But see, to Chloe's point, that becomes part of the issue. So if you walking around fake fronting like you got money like that, talking about you driving a BMW and it's $60 for the premium gas and all that nonsense, like somebody care, then you got to own that. Because see, what ends up happening is when a dude actually is genuinely trying to be chivalrous, trying to pump your gas because he see you over there pumping his, he can tell, he know you don't want to pump no gas. So he called himself trying to look out, and now you want to come talk about some $60. See, now dude's just gonna say forget it. So now we're gonna see the situation where the lady is on the side of the road with the flat tire. He gonna say, "Oh, sis, you go figure that out. Go call AAA or somebody. I'm about to go home." And that's what's gonna end up happening. But then them same ladies are gonna come back to social media talking about where all the nice guys at. Where all the chivalrous men at? Men don't open doors no more. Men don't pull your chair out no more. And then it's like, okay, men want to take you on a coffee date. Nah. It's like, well, where you think that's coming from?
or
Gotta
she
be
might
real
not
about
have liked
this.
him anyway and was trying to get $60 off him. That might have been it too. I don't like you anyway, but since you came over here, run me $60.
Well, see, but
That's
that's
it.
the okay.
And
But
let me
then
let me say this, yeah.
that's the problem, Vince.
Let me
That's
That's
say
the
this,
it.
problem.
and
Go
that's what I
ahead,
said,
JR. Go ahead,
and
JR.
that's what I said. That's what I said earlier, right? I know Mr. Price said, like, as a man, you yourself, you have to be a good man or whatever it is, and obviously I understand that, right? But my point was, he is that good guy, right? He's approached her. I want to pump your gas. There is no need for her to ask for him to pay that $60 because she could have got more than $60 after he pumped her gas. More than the $60.
I was about to say the same thing.
I pump your gas. If he came there to raise her up, cool, and she likes him, whatever it is, he gets the number. The day is going to be more than $60 if he goes that way. If it doesn't go that way, hey, at least you got, someone to pump your gas. What did he get out of it? He done a good deed that day. We keep it moving. And that's what I keep saying, right? What is the point of me trying to be that good guy if it's going to cost me more? But I'm not going to get nothing in return and it's not guaranteed. What is the point? Because best believe the man before this guy that approached her, he ain't have to pay no $60. We can bet on that. And that's how the game is. So once again, what is the point? Now, I'm not saying that as a man, you shouldn't hold your values, right? So here's how it goes. I hold my values and I stay at the game, or I don't hold my values and I play the game. That's my two options. Because we can say, yeah, try and find that good woman. Now, I'm not saying that all the men out here, or majority of the men are the good guys. No, I'm not even saying that. But I'm saying from a man's perspective, the majority are not on the good side. Of course, when ladies have their own opinions and whatnot, they're going to say what they're going to say about the men, right? From their own point of view. If you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. What is the point if this is what we have to deal with and it's going to cost me more? and it's not guaranteed a result.
That's real. I can't knock that, JR. I can't knock that, man, because I think to your point, when you say, or to your question, when you say what is the point, I think a lot of guys are gonna take on that. They're gonna take on that perspective. Yeah, what is the point? What is the point of me trying to help you out? What is the point of me holding the door for you? If you like, what's the point? And going back to Chloe's point, I think it's because we have become so transactional. Everything is a transaction. It's like, what am I gonna get for my effort? What are you gonna get for your effort? And that's just not the way that it used to be. Yeah, it used to be, what I'm saying, I'm just trying to help you out. I'm at the gas station over here doing this. Says, let me hit your gas. It's cold out here. Why don't you sit in the car? I'll knock this out real quick. You drive off. As from the male perspective today in 2024, most men ain't trying to do that no more. Because at the end of the day, the ladies, I don't even know if the ladies still appreciate it. If there used to be a level of appreciation when when it was wintertime and you was pumping a young lady gas and she in the car and then she staying warm in the heat, and as soon as you got done pumping that gas and she rolled that window down, thank you, I appreciate you doing that for me. That really helped me out. Like, I don't even know if that happens anymore. Yeah, fellas are holding doors now. I don't even know if they still get thank yous anymore. Like that level of appreciation is just not there like it used to be. So to your point, JR, yeah, I think some fellas out here are gonna start to question what is the point of me doing this or me doing that. Yeah, if I see a young lady and I decide I want to pump her gas, you know what I'm saying? Now she want me to pay for the tank. Like it's changed. And then two, we have prioritized this money just way too heavy. Yeah, it's like we at the point now that this money is stopping relationships. Yeah, forget character. Yeah, forget if you an honest man. Forget if you a loyal man. Forget if you a non-cheating man. Like, that's just out the door. It's just how much money you make. Yeah, before I'll even talk to you, how much money you make? Oh, I make 60,000. Oh, that's not enough. I can't entertain you, regardless if you a good dude and I done seen you in action and I know you got my back. Like, this money, we have prioritized it so heavy. All of those character traits and those foundational things that kept people together and built strong families, we done threw that out the door. So yeah, it's wild out here. Let me check in with Cole real fast. Cole, come off mute. Let me make sure your audio working today. Let me see what we got.
It's
Oh,
working.
we can hear you. All right, good. You got anything to say about this? Or are you good, Cole? What you think?
Okay. Regarding the situation with the guy pumping gas, I mean, I agree. It just seems like everything does seem very transactional. You know, where is the chivalry? You don't have to be. I, I would just say, where's the chivalry? Just be a gentleman. Like, I don't think that hurt nobody.
So if he be the gentleman, you looking for him to pay for the gas too?
He's a gentleman.
That's just not how I roll.
So you gonna pay for your gas, but you don't, if he'll pump it, you just give him a thank you, but he ain't got to pay for the gas though.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, that was so nice, thank you. And we try to spark up a little conversation. I answer his questions, but I might be like, oh, okay.
Okay, let me ask you let me ask you the $1 million question. You gonna give him your number?
It depends on the questions he asks.
Oh,
wait.
Oh.
It depends on the questions.
Yes.
It depends on the question or
the questions in the conversation. Yes. You can't just be like, so let me get that number. Like, no,
Well,
if you ask for the number, I need to make a quick assessment of the character.
Yeah, you gotta do it the right way. You can't be on no awkward stuff. I got you.
I'm not buying it. I'm just not, because it's. Hey, I'm being honest. You can say it's the questions, it's how he talks to me and all that, but
yes, you can't.
If Denzel Washington wanted to pump your gas and he looks like him, does he have to say a word? Does he?
Yes.
Is it yes? Or
yes.
does he turn around and give him your number will you turn around and volunteer your number to him as his VIP?
No.
No,
No,
that's
I
not
don't.
true.
You
It
gotta put
depends
some
on the
work
man.
in, Joe. No matter who it is.
You
Mm-hmm.
got to be
But
careful with
you saying work.
it's the attractive ones.
Yeah, exactly. The ones y'all look out for. And they probably
Yeah,
know
but that's
too.
not.
They're like, I get whatever on site. No,
They know
no.
they attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
I would give a
and it
compliment
works.
back, like, "Oh, thank you, handsome man," or you look, thank you, but
Hmm.
But
we
it
don't
You
works.
we don't
cute,
have
but
to
I don't
exchange.
trust
Yeah, you
you.
don't have to exchange number for that if it's just a compliment.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I'm not.
Man,
Yeah, if
ladies, y'all
Leonardo
something
DiCaprio
else.
came up, I'm gonna
You
pump
too
your
Mm-mm.
cute.
gas.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nah.
You ain't
See, that's
ugly
the
enough.
pride.
You ain't
Joe,
ugly.
they ain't falling for it, Joe. They ain't falling
Mm-mm.
for it, man. They ain't falling
I mean,
for
they
it.
say they not, but it's
I'm serious.
I've done
That's
little
what
things like that.
that's what they say. Remember, I think Mr. Vince did say it right. The ugly guy might cost him $60. So
Yeah,
what's the
that's what he
opposite
said.
of the $60? Zero, right? Some might get it, some might not. It might cost you the number. Some just get it for free. It just depends how it talks. Don't listen to them. Come on, man. Come on,
I guess
come
they
on,
have
come on.
not
Wait,
realized
wait,
the
wait,
type
Come
of
wait.
on,
person I am, but okay.
ladies. Come
Just
on now.
okay.
Listen,
JR,
listen.
Oh
don't be like
Even
that,
Lord.
man.
listen. Mr. Vince is an OG,
Mm-mm.
and I know he got a few stories that he gonna tell us. Yeah, that he
Man,
paid
y'all
and he
hold on,
probably
hold
didn't
on.
pay.
Hold on, JR.
I paid
Y'all act
and I
like
didn't
Vince is
pay. Come
old or
on
something,
now.
man. Hey, wait a minute, man. Hold on. Wait a
Oh no no
minute, man.
no
Y'all acting
no.
like Vince is
When I say
old or
that when
something.
no no
He's
when I say
seasoned.
OG, I'm talking in terms of like the experience. Like you got that real life experience than me more than me in terms of the ladies. When I refer to the OG, like he's got that real life OG experience like more than me. If you know what I mean. But that's what I said. Even him in his experience, he will tell you he's paid and he hasn't paid.
Man, let me okay.
Yeah,
Let
man.
me go ahead. Let me go ahead and settle
What he
this
say?
right now. Let
Who
me
ain't paid? What he say?
No,
Y'all
I'm
do all
saying,
this
yeah.
paying.
And I'm saying, even as an OG, yeah,
Oh
you
yeah.
don't play. That's what I'm saying, yeah. Like you'll probably consider yourself one of the guys that's been successful, but even a successful guy, even they have to pay.
Haven't always been
It
successful.
depends on the
No,
hold
that's what
on.
man.
that's what I'm saying.
Let me set the stage because we're gonna go ahead and ask
Go
this
on.
question. This on you, Vince. So let me go ahead and take back let's see. So you got married 50, let me take back 15 years. Vince, minus 15 years. You pumping the gas and you paying for the gas, or you ain't doing neither one? What you doing 15 years back?
I'm pumping and paying
Get out of here. Get,
because I'm
hey,
gonna tell you this.
go ahead.
Now, most of the time, but see, with me, I've never got that particular because women know by my conversation and how I move that it's something about me.
I got you.
So even if I'm jumping out the work van, I got a bunch of keys in my hand. You know about them keys, though, Shaquay?
Yeah, I
Man
know
who
a little
got
jingle.
keys got that prop. Man got keys got something. So I've never just like with Remy. She I'm gonna give y'all the honest. She tried that
Man, you know we
on
gonna
me.
tell her to
Let
get
me let
on
me,
here,
let me
man.
say it. She tried that on me. Our second date, we went to Nordstrom Rack. It was around the holiday. I was going to get my son a coat, and we was in there, and I was in the line with her. I had my son's coat, and she had some stuff. So she put her stuff on the register, and I walked away. And she was like, "Oh, she ain't say nothing right then, but I knew the play on that. We was in line together, but I ain't paying for your stuff yet. You know what I'm saying? So I walked away and got some more stuff and came back. She paid for hers, I paid for mine. So it's just a lot of little trickery be going on in there, but she knew what it was though. She like, okay. So I wouldn't have got to pay my $60 because she would have seen something. But $60 wasn't nothing to me. So if I had 60, I say, I might give her 30. I might have gave her 60, depending on if I wanted a day tonight. She might have been good for right now or good for a long time. It wouldn't have mattered to me. So
I got
it kind of
So
depends on where
you
you at in life.
so
I
you
I
would
got
have
you.
mean,
paid up
she
I got you.
was
front.
fine. So if I wanted to knock down the
Okay.
fine one that I might would have paid for 60 in total. Okay, meet me at Ruth's Chris. That's just who I was at the time. It wasn't nothing to me.
I
So
got you. I got you. I hear
So
that.
so
I
you
hear that.
use, so you would have used your resources. You would have saw it as an opportunity to basically trick off, knowing that what she wanted is okay. I want him for his money. You figure, okay, ding,
yeah,
ding, ding. She wants
yeah.
me for
I
my
don't
money.
no
I want
no.
her for her
I
body.
don't care. Hey, if it was what it was back then, it was what it was until I met Remy. It was what it was. My thing is be honest. Let me know what you want. I'll let you know what I want. And if we want to get down, let's get down. I'd rather do that than be playing around with you and still not get what I want. Just put it all on the table.
I
But
think
let me ask you this
Oh.
though, Vince. Is that right though? So does a man, in order to have an interaction with a woman, he has to be forthcoming with money?
I'm not
Like,
gonna necessarily say it's money, but everybody wants something.
yeah, but
Everybody
why is
wants something in business, in personal. Everybody wants something. So just let me know what you want, and then we can decide if I want to pay the toll or not. That's just how I think. I know I'm different. I understand that, but so that's just how I think. Everybody wants something. If you find
so
you know I want to have sex. You know I want to have sex. I'm not gonna sit up and play with you and be like, well, you know, are we getting down or what? So I was when I was single. You know, I'm good for the night or I'm good for tomorrow. I wasn't looking for no wife. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for. Now, when I changed my life and I was looking for a wife, then I had a different mindset. But if she was
so
cute and and the toll was a funky $60, you know, and then I'm that guy too. I'm kind of a show off.
I get that. So that
So
so
it
no,
wouldn't
I
matter to
got you.
me.
Yeah, I
It
got
wouldn't have
you on that,
mattered to
Vince. I'm
me.
just I'm just trying to understand because I said I keep hearing this, right? So I've been seeing situations where ladies are saying that men have to pay them for their time.
Mhm.
So essentially that's what this is. So I gotta spend money on you just to have conversation with you, like just to approach you, like is that what we doing? So because see my problem with that is so then I guess now in 2024 we are saying that the guy himself don't matter.
Nope.
He doesn't have a value. The
That's
value is
crazy.
all in her. The value is she's the one that holds the value, right? So you need to pay her for her time. Your time isn't valuable like her time is valuable. Her time is more valuable than
Well,
yours.
no,
She's
no,
more
no, no,
valuable
no, because my time is
than you
valuable too.
are.
I don't want to waste my
So
time with somebody I know I'm not gonna get what I want at the end.
and
I was
women feel
always
the same
busy.
way. And the
So
women
exactly.
obviously feel
So
the
my
same
thing
way.
was it didn't. You know,
Right.
it works out. I hate to sound chauvinistic, but it works out kind of better for me because we can decide to kind of change and switch it up and get what we want at 45 and 50. It's hard for a woman to kind of have lived that type of life and then switch it up at 35 and say, okay, now I want a husband. It's just harder. It's just
I mean, that's what, okay. So then that goes back to what Donovan was saying earlier when he was saying that it's difficult for a woman to continue to increase her body count, basically be for the streets, and then want to double back, uh, or think she's going to be able to elevate at that point. Whereas a man, he can be for the streets and, he can continue to elevate. He can go find whatever said relationship that he desires, right? And still be able to get the type of woman that he desires. Um, I guess I'm looking at it kind of like this, though. It does kind of get to the point where's the innate value, right? Men had, there was a point, okay? There was a point when men had an innate value and women also had an innate value. And they were valuable for different reasons. Men valued women for all the things that made women women. And men and women valued men for all of the things that made men valuable, right? For being men, basically. And we both have a unique perspective, a unique ability and skill set, and not to mention the fact that we were created to sort of balance each other out. Can a woman be fine on her own? Sure, she'll be fine. She can make it. A man can make it on his own. He'll be fine. But we balance each other out and we bring something to the other that's missing because we don't all have all of the complete things to build out a life that we might want separate of each other, right? Now, what we value time is in a way that's interesting, right? We say my time is valuable. I don't want to waste it. Yet we spend every day, all day, wasting a bunch of time. It's just how we feel, how we rather waste it. It's interesting. Like we're in our phones, we're watching crap TV, we're binge watching. All we want to do is pleasure, entertainment all day outside of the 8 or 9 hours or whatever we're working. But we'll say when it's time to connect with another human being, I don't want nobody to waste my time. Like we're not already wasting so much time. So it's kind of crazy. Is that really what it is? Or are we just all very selfish?
I think it's
And we don't want to call it what it is. We're selfish, right? We want what we want, how we want it. We want who we want, how we want them to come to us, and we want them to do what we want them to do. And that's really what it is. Because a man should not have to make an initial investment just to say, hi, I like you. He should be able to say, I'm attracted to you. I would like to know you. That should be free.
It was free. Pumping the gas.
It should be free. Like, and if he is willing to do something nice because he just wants to, because he's like, I'm a man, she's a woman, I want to do something nice for her, then he should be allowed to do something nice for you. Like, you don't want him to do something nice for you? Or you only, it's conditional now, like chivalry is conditional?
It is.
Now I want to tell you, it's just another layer of control that sometimes women want. Now I want to tell you how to be chivalrous.
Right.
Now I want to tell you, yeah, you can pump my gas, sure. Can you? But you need to pay for it too. Otherwise, keep the pumping.
I think because it happens a lot for her, and for women that look like her, it happens.
Yeah, why y'all keep saying that? What they got to do with it? Y'all keep talking about how she look. Her face full of she full of makeup. So how y'all even know how she look?
Y'all pumping these women up. Y'all pumping these women up so bad, like man, no wonder, guys.
It works. Chloe, it works the same for a guy. It works the same for a tall 6'4" guy, bald head, nice looking. It works the same way. Looks gets you money. For men, it's money. For women, it's looks.
Except
it's not true. But
except men don't respond in the same way to the I think they call it a pretty privilege for women. Men don't respond in the same way, right? Even don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that attractive men don't have it easier in certain ways. We know attractive people in general have it easier in life. But what I'm saying is because you guys have hyped beauty standards up so much, now, yeah, a woman like that is not enough. It's not because I'm pretty. I know I'm pretty. So it's not enough for you to just want to pump my gas, right? You should want to pay for it too. It's not enough for you to say, hey, can I take you out on a date and take you to, get something to eat? It should be, I like to go to certain types of places. You should take me to certain types of places, right? We haven't even talked about or even approached what this woman's personality is like, Because if she thinks she deserves something just because she happens to be above average looking, like
With makeup, by the way,
there's
tons
right,
of it.
because we haven't seen her without it. But anyway, I digress. But with
Right.
she already thinks she deserves something though, because she's above average attractiveness. So just the same thing that we say about men, right? Y'all say about if a dude look a certain way, he does, then he don't even got to try. So what is his personality like? If he's never had to try,
Personality?
yeah,
Facts.
what is his character like?
This,
And same thing with the woman. Same thing with the woman, okay? And we know there's exceptions, but we're talking about the rule, not the exceptions. Same thing with the woman, right? If she's always been pretty privileged, then what's her personality like? What is she like to
it
be
doesn't
around?
matter.
Like, what
It
is?
doesn't matter what her personality is like because of her physical beauty. So her
Yeah, but
personality is
you
going to
can't.
be
That doesn't
wider.
last.
That's the
I
It
know,
problem.
but
doesn't
I just want to
last.
make this point real quick. It doesn't. It might matter to that one man, but for the vast majority of men she dealt with that she's treated this way, it's worked. So her personality is always going to seem sunshine and roses, regardless of how mean spirited she is. This is how you can see a lot of guys who look a certain way, who can get away with certain things, or even women. Oh, I'm pretty. So you automatically assume certain character traits about a woman, whether they're true or not. Now, whether or not that person chooses to develop their personality, that's up to them. If they are of a certain attractive, they have a certain look where they can get away with a lot more things such as myself, if I choose to. Now, I don't have to have a personality because I know that when people see me at the first time, oh, no, you don't even know me from a can of paint. But if I want to play into that, I could. If I want to be the villain, I could do that. Or if I want to be like, you know what, I'm going to treat this person nice, I can choose to do that too. But there's been times where I've been a total asshole to some women. And it's like, oh, well, that doesn't matter. You're tall, you're dark, you're like a model. I'm like, these people must be crazy. So personality is nice to have, but that really applies to people who are, I guess, average looking, according to societal standards of beauty or attractiveness. But for people like her, the reason why she's doing that is because she can get away with it. It didn't work this time, but I'm sure it's not the first time she's had someone wanting to pump her gas or open the car door for her, or all these other chivalrous things. But the reality is that these men want something from her, like Vince said. I agree. They She knows it. She's done it. She's been through the ringer so many times. She knows that it leads to something else. He's gonna want eventually. So let me just get straight to the point. So he's not doing that. He's not offering to pump some lady's gas who looks like an ogre, who looks like Shrek. He's not doing that, but he will do it for a woman that looks like her. So yeah, it's a nice gesture on the surface, but the underlying thing is it that he wants something out of it in return. He wants a number. He wants to take on a date. He's enamored by her. I know because it happens to me when a woman at the bar gives me an extra drink that I didn't pay for. I didn't ask for. Oh, it's just for you. Just take it. Okay, no, there's something you want out of this. I was hoping, we can go in there. Oh, that's what it was. It wasn't just out of the kindness of your heart. So it kind of makes you, when you experience that, you think, oh, this person's just being nice to you. No, you realize over time, when you are the recipient of these gifts and these favors from people, these strangers, you feel like, oh, these people want something from me. And it makes you kind of hardened. It makes you kind of bitter in a way, because now you want to be like, well, let me just get what I want to out of return, because maybe they entertained that
Man,
person who
come
did it
on,
as a nice
man.
thing. I'm just telling you my experience, and I'm telling you from
No, I
other
ain't mad.
attractive women who experienced it. So this is the truth. So this is how you
Yeah.
don't have a personality being developed, because they feel like, well, these people, what personality do they have? They're not doing this out the kindness of the heart. They want something from me. Oh, they want to sleep with me. Oh, they want money from me. So it makes you into this person that you see on camera. Now, I'm not justifying it, but I'm just saying this is how it is in reality. I hope that helps.
But we playing into it though. So I mean, essentially, let's call it what it is. We still justifying it. So we saying because this chick is pretty and whatever else, and I'm like I said, she had it caked on thick. So we we saying because this girl after she go get done up because now she pretty. So I'm gonna go pump her gas, and she now gets some special privilege. Like, man, see, this be my thing.
Yeah.
we gotta pick and choose, right? Because in another conversation, we would call that dude a simp. In another conversation, we would call that dude a simp. So the dude who goes and pumps the girl's gas, then pay for the gas, we would call him a simp. But now in this situation, we don't want to call that dude a simp. We would say that we okay simping. Yeah, this is some wild stuff we out here.
This is what I was saying.
This is some wild stuff we
Hold
going
on.
on
This
here.
is what I was
Can
saying.
I chime in right quick? Now, let's understand something. Women's value is their beauty. Period. That's why a woman can get on TikTok and don't say nothing and be a millionaire. A man can never do that. I don't care how good he looks.
Okay, so
because men are visual and men are nasty.
Is that what you really think a woman's value are? Or are you saying from
I didn't say only value. I didn't say only value. I just said what her value is to men. Is what she's looking first.
That's still bad.
First is what she looks like. Like a man's value to a woman is how he can provide first.
That's still bad.
And it is what it is.
So that might be why we pick it wrong.
A woman loses her. That's like a man gains value as he gets older. We have to build our value. We're not born with our value. Women are born with their value.
You actually are born with your value, but okay.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Okay.
I mean, I understand
that's not. We just way overgeneralizing everything.
I mean valuable to the world and other people. I'm not talking about inner value or how I feel about myself. I mean valuable to other people. What is my value to someone else? Ain't what I feel about myself.
You're still valuable to society as a man.
You missing my point. I don't go with all that. I understand. I understand what you're saying. I'm talking just like when I talk to my kids. I don't care what you think your value is. Your value is what other people think, because that's what's going to get you paid. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you think your value is being a music artist and don't nobody want to buy your CDs. That's not fucking valuable. You better find something that's valuable to someone else. That's what I'm talking about. But I'm not talking about how you feel about yourself.
No.
I'm valuable to myself.
That's
but
what
am
I'm
I valuable about to other people?
That's not what I'm talking about. But that's not what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, if men didn't have an actual, even though women don't want to see it, right? If men didn't have an actual innate value to society, then we wouldn't be a patriarchal society.
Black people are not patriarchal. That's our problem. Men. That's our problem.
I'm speaking from society too. So
okay. The overall society.
So black men still out earn women. So there is still a value that is higher for men. Period. Even in society. So men do have a higher value in society. Black men too. Being born as a male child, you still have a quote unquote higher value in society, period, because you were born a man. Because they already know the potential of what they're going to be able to get out of you as a man is going to be different than what they're going to be as a woman.
We got you. Go ahead.
So let's just establish that baseline, right? I guess what I'm trying to say, the point that I was trying to get at is, we are perpetrating this inflated value that we're saying our women have, right? Women, their expectations, they value themselves too high, this, that, and the third. We'll get, just like Quay said in one conversation, we'll say these things. Women inflated value, overvalue themselves, overestimate their worth, whatever. We'll say that, right? But I'm starting to see that we're feeding it. We're feeding it just as much as a society is feeding it as well, right? I understand that men are attracted to a woman's beauty, right? You are supposed to, right? And it's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, when you get to the point where you're willing to do whatever so you can be just in her presence, or that you can have her time or be physically close to her, intimate with her, now it's a problem, right? Because it tips the scales. So no wonder she feels like, well, if you want my time, then it should be this and it should be that. And in a way, you bring your value down because her value increases because she's in demand for you. You established her inflation. You inflated her value. So by you inflating her value, your value plummets. We have to start thinking about what we're doing. We create these little monsters and these little issues, and then we go run and complain about them after we've been a part of the problem. This is the point that I was making. It's about the mindset. We're talking about a problem after it's already become a problem. Let's get to the root of it. Let's stop talking about how women have high expectations and they think too much of themselves and this, that, and the third. Like, okay, boom, these are the problems. What's the solution? First, what's the root of the problem? Maybe we got to change how we're approaching it. That woman was attractive. How attractive she was, I don't know. I got to see her when she get in the pool and out. Because I don't even know if them was tracks. Was that her hair? I don't know. Who knows?
It wasn't.
So what I'm saying is she was attractive, but does that then mean that she can treat whomever she comes in contact with however she wants to? And now we're going to say, well, it's okay. Look at her. She can expect whatever she wants or demand or ask for whatever she wants because, well, look at her.
Well, I'm gonna say that the same thing about. Chloe, I'm gonna say that the same. I'm gonna say that the same thing about a rich man. He can get whatever he wants because he's rich, and that just is what it is. So if she's beautiful and her results are that, then I don't have no problem with it. It's about the results. Now, if every man she entertain is doing that, then that's the results that she get. Now, if she waiting and can't get that and thinks she's something else, then that's different. My thing is your results. Your results speak for me. If you claim to be a boss, then I need to see boss results. If you don't have boss results, then you're not a boss. That's my whole thing. If you got pretty, if every man she's dating is doing that, then obviously she can get it. If a rich man can get, if Nick Cannon can get 12 women to have his kids, and I hate to use him because everybody know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying though. It is what it is. My thing is the results. If she can get it, then get it. If he can get it, then get it. It's different when you think and you're not getting it. That's my whole thing. True. Oh well, I'm waiting on my expectation, but then you dating a bum. Then you need to level up. Now, if she was saying $60 and she can't get 20, then she need to change her expectations. But if you can get 60, then get 60.
But see, to your point, Vince. Your point, Vince. How do we even know? See, that's what I'm saying. So, to Chloe's point and to the point that you just made. So, how do we even know if she can get 60? Mm-hmm. So we just heard her. The man, volunteered to pump the gas. She told, basically let my man was going to let my man pump the gas, and then told him it was going to be $60 for some premium because of her little BMW, whatever. So just because of how she physically looks, we done bypassed all the questions. So we don't even know if she can get the 60. We don't even know if she's just trying to see if she can get lucky. We don't know if this chick is broke. We don't know if that chick is a baby mama. We have no idea. We done threw all that out the window because we think she cute. So because we think she cute, then that means that she can get this money. We gonna do whatever we want to do for her and all this and all that's because she look a certain way. We ain't even ask no questions. We don't know if this chick married. We don't know nothing. We don't know if she a murderer. We don't have no idea. But because she look a certain way, then we throw all that out the window. In the conversation, that would be a simp. And he will be getting played. But then we'll come back and say, oh, I ain't gonna never let a chick get me like that. This chick ain't gonna never run my pockets like that. But then we'll sit here in the same breath, and then we will say, because she look a certain way, then we willing to do whatever because she look a certain way, and we hoping that we can get a little something out of it, some conversation or whatever. That's crazy work, man.
Well, I told y'all my stripper story, so she just wasn't smart about it. That's all. She could have played it. if she was smart, she could have just been like, "Hey, I got 60. My take is $60." But I think she was just really the way she portrayed herself. She was just aggressive with it. She was just like demanding.
Attitude.
The attitude, if she just did it more low key, like the girl that did it with me, because I think it happens to most men, they don't like to admit it. But if she had played that role, oh my God, just stroking your ego, rubbing your back. I know it's this much, just like play into it. But I know you got it. I know you're a strong man. You got all the money. If she did that and just would ease into it, he would have done it. But it was
Stop the
just you
cap.
come out the gate talking about pay my pay my $60 gas bill. It's like it's jarring for us because that's a commanding,
But y'all didn't
very
require
aggressive
that.
experience. That's something that
Y'all,
men do. That's what we do. We say, hey man, we point fingers and
Joe,
we
we gotta
demand and we
stop.
do.
We
But
gotta
but
stop,
if she
Joe.
did it,
We gotta stop.
stop what?
We gotta stop. If this chick really was if this chick really was living that life, she wouldn't be asking for no $60. We gotta stop. Now I'm in my 40s.
You're right.
I'm in my 40s. If a chick really got money like that, she not asking for no $60. That right there was a tip off. Because to Vince's point, like he was saying that 60 is nothing, she'll be saying the same thing, that 60 is nothing to her. So the fact that she even asked my man and told him that her premium gas, like somebody care if it's premium or regular, her premium gas is $60, that right there was the red flag and told you she broke. She out here fronting.
Not necessarily.
Man, y'all see, that's what I'm
Vince
saying.
said.
So this
No,
is
I'm
how
saying.
this
But see,
happens.
Quay, hold on a second, Quay. I've been wait a
Y'all
minute.
gotta chill, man.
Quay, I've been in these dating streets, and I've heard of many women say, "That's how I get rid of them, ask them for some money."
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Man, come
That's
on,
how they
man.
say they get rid of them. That's how they say they stop them from calling, stop them from wasting their time, is to ask them for some money.
That's game
That's
plan,
what
man.
they.
At the
That's
end
what
of the
they
day,
say. They said,
but that's
"For
game
get him
plan.
to
If she
stop
want to
what
get
you're
rid of him,
doing,
she can just
to
say
stop wasting my
I'm not
time,
interested and keep it
ask them
moving.
for some
She ain't
money."
gotta play.
Yeah, but
She
that's
ain't
not how
gotta play.
people
but
That's
if
are.
how
you give her
that's
that money, but if okay. But if you give her that money, she's going to take it. And then what? What
Yeah,
happens
that's
after
just how
that? She's
people
trying
are.
to get rid of you, right? She asked you for some money. And you call her out. You call her bluff, like, oh, it's nothing. I got it. And you give it to her, then what?
Man, we gotta
Then
stop
what
playing,
I'm
man.
saying is what I'm saying is, y'all, like this is what I meant by the lack of personality. Like there was none. Like she was aggressive from the jump. Like just like Joe said, like her approach could have been completely different. Maybe she, you know what I'm saying? Like she could have approached it completely different. We actually don't know that he wouldn't have helped her pay for her gas. We actually really don't know that. But the way she came off was a red flag. Because if it would have been flipped and it was a dude acting like that, oh, what would she have said? Brokey. Oh, yeah, brokey.
Right.
The nerve. It's giving broke.
What if you'd asked her for $60? Is that what
No,
you're saying?
not like that. I mean, if it had been a situation where, obviously not apples to apples, but if it had been a situation where she offered to do something for him, like maybe let's say she said, oh, she's gonna grab him a snack or some lunch or some whatever, and he like, oh, that's cool, but then asked her to, could she pick it up could she pay for it? Oh, well, if you're gonna bring me some lunch, I like Olive Garden. They lunch special is $35. And then she go, I mean, I'm just gonna pick it up. Like that kind of thing. Why you want me to pay for it? It's giving broke.
Well, if you can get away with murder,
you
most
know what I'm
people
saying?
do it.
Like it's just that kind of thing, right? So now we're talking about the gesture of it. It's the attitude, right? We're talking about it's just a gesture. If it was a woman trying to just do a gesture for a guy, just do a gesture, and the guy decided to up the ante a little bit, she gonna be like broke.
For sure.
Not necessarily.
Real fast, broke. But then a man try to do a gesture and she tries to up the ante, and then it's like,
it's not. I don't know if it works.
so
I've upped the ante a few times, and it's like I get what I want.
ignoring a lot.
I'm just.
Ignoring a lot.
No, Chloe, I understand what
I
you're
didn't know that
saying,
this is
but
what
I
was going
think
on.
sometimes,
Ladies, I
I
guess
know.
do what you do.
I know
Because
sometimes we get on this panel and we wanna, you know, talk to the women. I get it, but sometimes we gotta understand that these men out here be tripping too, and
It's
you
of
gotta
simple.
cut them real quick and
course,
see who in the real game and who in the fake game. A lot of these dudes be in the fake game. They wanna what you doing you to death. They wanna hey good morning queen you to death. It ain't talking about taking you nowhere, spending no time with you, and that don't necessarily mean because I told you my first date was Chili's and the second date was Jay Alexander. So it ain't like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not, these guys will waste your time. And so they think, well, we gonna see what you're about. When you gonna take me out? Oh, well, sis, I just want to sit up here and talk to you for a minute. These guys will waste your time, Chloe. And I know that y'all been married a long
Mr.
time.
Vince,
Y'all don't know what the streets is talking.
Mr.
Hey
Vince,
Vince,
So
why y'all
don't
think?
do
Hold on.
that.
hey,
Don't do that. Don't
Let
do
me
that.
question that
I
real
mean,
quick. Let me
sometimes
question
it
that.
do seem that way
Don't
a
do
little bit,
that.
Chloe.
Don't do
Hold
A
that.
on.
little bit.
Let me
Sometimes a
question
little
that.
bit. These
Why
streets
Don't
is
y'all
do
think?
different.
that.
Why y'all
Don't
think
do
because
that.
somebody has a marriage with
Don't do that.
longevity that somehow they don't understand what's going on out here?
Ugh.
Let me correct
Because
that.
I must be getting
I'm
past
gonna
my
say
bedtime.
because the situation is it's different nowadays when you're older,
Y'all
when you
irking me.
have like when you're younger and you build together. Y'all situation is totally different than most people's out here, and I admire that because you were able to see value in each other before you had all this other stuff. You was able to, you know, Chloe was able to see potential in you, and you was able to see potential here before you had kids, before you had a bunch of debt, before all this other stuff, and all that matters. I know we like to act like, oh well, that don't, but it does. When you're 35 and you got a kid, you can't date a guy for just potential. He got to be coming with some help. With a dude, you can't date a chick just for some potential. You got to understand what it's about. So it's just a different dynamic, and that's why we need to do it when we're younger. We need to do it when we're more intentional. So you won't have all these games and all these tests and all this how much you make and what you because you're able to come with a clean slate and build a team. That's just like a, a championship team. You can't really take the chance and build a rookie. You know what I'm saying, Quay? I know you get it. You can't take the chance and build an 18-year-old and he go to the D League and you keep him for 6 years. You can't do that. You got to come with it. You got to come with it off the bench. So it's
Yeah,
just
but
a little different. And that's why I think these relationships don't work because we wait too long. It's too much involved and we got too much expectation and too much standard. I get it. I get it. I get it for these women. I get it. When you have a certain, you can't be with somebody just for potential when you 35 and two kids. And
yeah, but I
that
see, but
it
that
might that
don't. But
might be
see,
her fault. Or a dude, you got child support and this. It's just a
but see
lot
that.
that we need to be more intentional.
Yeah, but see,
It's
Vince,
different.
that don't make sense though, man. See, we saying that we can't. See, I think I'm hearing the problem. I'm
Me
hearing the
too.
problem. What I continue to hear is we are in a time, and I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be as blunt as I can make it. We are in a time where everybody don't nobody think they shit stink. It's like we out here talking about we can't date somebody with potential, but you come into a possible relationship with all type of issues and potential. But somehow we feel like because we got a job and we making a couple dollars and because we done signed up for some mortgage that we gonna end up paying for this house 3 times over, that somehow so far ahead. And it's like at the end of the day, everybody is still potential. Everybody still got baggage. Everybody still got problems. Everybody still baby mama and everybody still baby daddy and ain't nobody got their stuff together. Yeah, we want to pick one thing and then we want to say that make us up here because we making some money. So we way up here, but character shot, attitude shot, everything else about you shot. But because I'm making a whole bunch of money, I'm up here. And we do that mess on both sides. And then we come back and say that we can't date potential, but we can't be wasting our time. But to Chloe's point, we waste time all day long. We waste time all day long. We prioritize all type of nonsense. We out here at the club every week. We out here in the streets every week. We out here half-assing this, half-assing that. But then we want to come back talking about I can't waste time. My time is important. We out here running back and forth, catching flights, burning all this money up, blowing up credit cards, got debt up the yin yang, college debt all up the yin yang. But then we talking about what somebody else got to bring. So this dude coming to your life and you got $60,000, $70,000 of credit card debt. Then you looking at him trying to figure out how to pay it. But then we want to say we can't date somebody with potential. You potential. Your stuff ain't together. If just because you got a job don't mean you got it together. That just means you got a job that you can lose tomorrow. Look at the news. Cats getting laid off left and right, but we swear we got it all figured out. Like, we got to wake up to what we out here doing. Yeah, we got a video of a young lady literally messed up and messed over a possible husband because she wanted to be out in the streets. You know why that happened? Because she was potential. She ain't got it together. Her mind ain't even right. But we want to look past all this stuff. We want to look past all of our flaws because we got a good job. We got a title. But then you don't even know how to interact with a man. You don't even know how to interact with a woman. You might not even be a good parent. But then we want to say, I can't date somebody with potential. I can't date somebody that's a work in progress. You a work in progress. You ain't got your body together. You got weight you need to lose. You ain't muscle bound. You need to get stronger. Your investment game ain't tight. You ain't got 9 properties down the street, but you can't date somebody with potential, yet you still a work in progress. Yeah, this mess is crazy. Yeah, the reason why I say that we can't continue to discount people that's been married for a long time, almost like people that's been married, they out of the game. We understand what's going on. We just know a different way to go about it. And y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all want to do what y'all want to do and continue to get these same results and then wonder why things ain't working out. They working out because they not working out because you ain't willing to change your mindset. Yeah, we done adapted this modern mindset garbage, and this is why it ain't working out. Going back to the video, sis, my man trying to pump some gas for you. Let that man pump some gas. He ain't got to pay for your gas. You ain't that bad. It's 1 million of you out here. Look on Instagram. You ain't that bad. Yeah, fellas, stop having some of these females feeling like they the baddest. It's 1 million of them out here. But see, that's that old sucker stuff that we do as dudes and then try to justify it. Yeah, stop doing that mess. Then maybe that'll affect some of these mindsets of some of these inflated females that's out here. But see, we don't want to own that. Yeah, man, that's the problem, man. Everybody potential. Everybody got issues. Ain't nobody really got their stuff together. Everybody a check away. But we continue to act like our shit don't stink. And that's why these relationships ain't happening. That's why that young lady missed out on her husband. Your mindset shot. Then we want to transaction everything. I can't do this for you until you do this for me. I can't be nice to you until you pay for my $60 gas. That's crazy. Yep, that's crazy. You're going to be by yourself for a long time with that mentality. Yep, at the end of the day, dude, if the dude decide he want to be nice and pump your gas, let the man pump the gas.
And shut up.
Yeah, if you don't want to interact with my man no farther, tell my man you ain't interested, get in your car and go about your way. Yeah, this mess is crazy. Yeah, but then we want to base all of this nonsense on some money. Yeah, this dude ain't got this amount of money, so he ain't this. He ain't no boss. He ain't that. That's crazy work. Yeah, this money goes and it comes. This ain't permanent.
Comes and goes.
Yeah, you need to be looking at somebody's character. You need to be looking at their personality. You need to be looking at how they interact with their family. You need to be looking at if they got some kids, how they interact with their kids. Yeah, this money stuff, we ain't learned from this yet. How many Cardi B's? How many Real Housewives divorces? How many we got to see to understand that this money ain't it? But we still want to base everything on some money. How can I get some money out this dude? How can I get some money out this girl? Yeah, money is not that ain't the base. It's never been the base. Yep, you ain't out there, you ain't clear out here and you ain't on top of it just because you got some money. Yeah, that's crazy work. Yeah, whatever happened to the dude who used to be on top of it because he was a good dude? Whatever happened to the dude who was on top of it because he was a good father? Like, what happened to that? Now your salary determines the quality of man that you are? Like, we don't know these companies that ain't out here manipulating people through these salaries, but yeah, we want to base what makes a good man off a salary? Man, it's crazy work, man. Y'all done made me mad.
I think there might be a cause and effect here. That was some jewels, dude. In terms of women expecting a salary or money as a barometer for what makes a man, I think, and I'm just speculating, I think it has a lot to do with perhaps the masculinity of a man. And they talk about the testosterone levels dropping year after year. I think that has a lot to do with it. um, a lot to do with it. And it's not something you can see or put a number to, but you can put a number to someone's salary. You can say, well, they got this, even though I don't feel this from this person that looks like a man. I don't feel that. It's something that women instinctively feel. If that man has, I think it's something about hormones and testosterone. I think it's something energetic because you can say it's society, true, but it's something else deeper to it, uh, that goes into
What?
our own biology as men, and that affects how a woman perceives a man, or the lack of masculinity in a man. It's kind of like you go to a woman, she's being very masculine. We can perceive it, even though she might have a pretty exterior. If there's something off about her femininity, or the energy is missing, she doesn't have that radiance, that glow. There's something you can tell she has that 1,000-yard stare. There's something that's happened to her that caused her to lose it. She can be the most beautiful woman in the world, but she might not even be attractive to us. Same thing with women. I think collectively as a society, when you have pornography, when you have promiscuity, I'm not 100%, but I think I'm about 80% sure that it's the real cause. And so when a man doesn't have collectively, not one individual man, but collectively as a whole, when the masculine nature of a man consistently drops year after year, his testosterone drops. He's sick, he's tired, he's 800, 700, 600, 500, and then 300 becomes the new normal. And this is how most men are in society, or at least in America. Then it goes to, well, what else can we get from a man if I don't feel his mask? Well, I can get money from this man. I can get resources from this man because that's all he has to offer, because I can't feel his manliness, so to speak. And I just know that just from experience. And I think just it's it's um
So that's
it's a
all it is,
very
Joe.
deep energetic thing. It's hard to
That's
even
all it.
pinpoint it.
No, that you did pinpoint it. That's what the ladies are looking for. They're looking for a masculine man.
Yeah.
It's really not that complicated. Just like we looking for a feminine woman. That's why we can tell when she has masculine energy. Yeah, they're looking for a masculine man. That's not masculinity is not dictated by your salary. Yeah, so this is why I used the example before. This is why I said Paco don't have this problem.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
Clay, let me say something.
Paco ain't never had this problem.
But
Paco
I'm gonna,
goes out.
but I
Go
want to
ahead,
say
miss.
something about that. I'm gonna say something about that.
Who's Paco?
Our
I'll
last
tell you.
two, we have to understand that the black man's value in the family has been reduced to money. Because if you look at it, we live in our society is based on mama. Everything is mama. We've had a black president. Where was his daddy? We got a black woman running for president. Where her daddy? Donald Trump talk about his daddy every time, and I'm talking about his daddy all the time. George Bush talked about his daddy. Biden talked about his daddy. So we've made this the way that it is because we have left our families, and the only way that we were valuable is by the money because we're not in the home. That's the problem, Quay. So what else can they value us on when we ain't there anyway? For whatever reason. I told you, bro, I grew up with none of my friends having their father in the home. None of them. I can count on one hand how many women I've dated that had their fathers. So men are not there. So if you look at it, what's their value? The child support check, the Social Security check, buying the Jordans every now and again, because you ain't there when the baby is crying. You ain't there when I'm crying. You're not there to guide me and lead me. I got to find it myself. I got to go be a nurse. I got to do this myself. So your only value is your money. We've created this. So I don't know how it's going to end. We have created a place where a black man can't say nothing. We got to agree with the women in our society. We can't even say we don't like abortion no more. We love our children. We got to say, oh, it's a woman's right and she can do what she want to do with her body. How about God wanted you what you wanted to do with her body? So we've created this problem, Quay, because we're not in the home, so our value is money. So I tell my son, get your money up, or pick you somebody that you agree with, because it is what it is. I've seen so many good men get thrown away for this money. So my thing is, I'm not gonna keep telling you to go this way. I'm gonna try to tell you to go away that work. I'm sorry.
Playing into it.
I'm sorry. I'm a good guy, but until I start making this type of money, I ain't never. And maybe it's because I found a wife that was a wife and she respected that, but I've never got this type of respect, and it's because I take care of things. I take care of everything. She don't worry about nothing, and it is about money. Because my money has her in her feminine energy. She don't have to worry about no money. So until we get to a place where our women don't have to worry about, okay, well, we got to raise these kids because he might leave. Who give a fuck about you being nice? Nice don't pay no bills.
But Vince, that ain't
don't
true,
pay no bills. I'm sorry, Quay. I got to keep it 100. You better get your money up. Because my thing is, we always look at the money. If you make a time, you got to be smart. Unless you're an athlete or entertainer, it ain't about getting money. You have to be a certain type of man to get a certain type of money, the legal way. You ain't just falling over $1 million. You ain't just stumbling over $1 million. You got to put it together. So you putting that together, you putting together a lot of stuff. So my thing is, I don't care about none of that. I want to do what works. So we've made it this way. Have you ever heard Kamala talk about her daddy? Never.
No, she's not gonna talk about it until she get the presidential election. That's why.
My mama raised 2 daughters in the ghetto. And Barack Obama, single mama.
Yeah, she playing on y'all emotions. I
He's
know what
trying
that
to do
is.
that for votes, Vince. That's just
Obama did it too, though.
Exactly.
Right. It worked.
But how does that work? But then it don't. But my dad was the greatest man. And he taught me this. And but it don't. But it worked. And you talk about Paco. Paco in his house. Paco ain't leaving his woman. So so Paco value is more than that.
So why don't you explain that, Quay?
So no, what I was going with that is he don't have these problems. If he don't have these problems, he can go out and get his average salary doing his landscaping. He comes home, get his respect, get cooked for, get lunch cooked, made for him, and anything else. He don't have these problems.
Yeah.
But then it's like when we come over to this side, then it's nice. I need $60 on my gas tank, and it's like this don't add up. And that's why I said I know it's a mindset issue. Yep. To your point, Vince, that you was just making, I agree with you. we do have an issue around this value topic, right? But I gotta be honest, as men, we are playing into it. Yep, at the end of the day, my value is not just my monetary contribution. Yep, I know we want to limit it to that, but that's not it. Yep, I come with value before that. Yep, I lead people. I know how to fix things. I can advise people on things. I have a mind. I have a brain. I can lead a family. There's other things that are valuable about me outside of my monetary. Yeah, but as fellas, we playing into that now. Yeah, we playing into that. We conditioning ourselves to think that we only as good as our money. Especially, Vince, to your point, if we ain't in a home. Yeah, but I'm not gonna say that that's majority of our households. I don't think it is. I don't know the stats, but I don't think that's majority.
It is. It's 70. If you look at the stats, 70% of black homes in Detroit are headed by single mothers. 70%.
70%.
80%
in
of our
Detroit.
children are going
Okay.
out of way a lot.
I thought
You
we
at
were
the
looking at a
bottom.
national level. We're just talking about
Damn.
Detroit.
Detroit is worse.
Oh,
I get it. So
Detroit
wow.
is worse than the
that's
national average.
Right. Well,
I get it. So that's a smaller. I get it. So
okay, right.
that's a
This is
smaller
smaller.
demographic.
Okay.
I get it. I get it. So I don't know the stats on that. So I don't want to speak on that. But we playing into it. Yeah, we are playing into it as men, and like I said, that is a problem. Yeah, we all should know and be telling the young fellas coming behind us. Your value is way past the job. Yeah, that's just the cap off. Yep, can you protect a woman? Yep, can you lead a woman? Can you advise a woman? Can you interact with a woman successfully? I mean, let's talk about that. That skill right there is valuable in itself. Can you interact with a woman successfully?
But Quay, is
Go
that
ahead,
what you
Joe.
just said? Not, not an issue in itself. And what you referred to us knowing our value, it was in reference to being of service to a woman. So it's like us knowing our value should not have anything to do with a woman, firstly.
What
And
you mean?
then after that comes, well, when you say can a man protect? Can he provide? Can he do all these
Yeah, I
other
was just
things?
speaking in the context of a relationship. So yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Our value is before a woman. So no, I agree with that.
And that's what needs to be established before a man can even think to be of service to a woman and her children and take care of her family. And I think that's definitely what's missing. I didn't even know that 70%. That's just Detroit. I mean, I'm not surprised, but it's sombering because when you don't have the father in the household raising the child to give that boy a sense of value, he ends up in the streets and he ends up on the other side of 8 Mile or 7 Mile, like I see. Shooting at each other in the red line, all these crazy things. It's a lack of self value. It's a lack of value because they haven't been taught that they are worth anything. And so, what do you have to go off on? I'm just gonna sell. I'm just gonna do my thing. I'm gonna make money, and I'm gonna do it illicitly. And then I'm going to end up in jail, and then I might end up getting dead and killed. So when
Joe, let me ask you a
right
question
the
just
place,
based on that point you just made. So you talked about that guy who's gonna end up on 7 or 8 Mile, right? So let's just say that dude is in the streets. He doing this thing on 7 Mile and 7 Mile and Gratiot. He doing this thing.
right there by Church and Chicken.
He doing this thing. So he getting hundreds of thousands out here doing this thing. Would you consider that man valuable?
The world will consider it valuable. But what
Would
happens
you
when
consider that man
what I
valuable?
consider? That's not the only thing I look at as far as what I look for in a man as to how much money he makes. To me, that's like a facade. So I'm just speaking for myself personally. It's a facade. It gives the appearance of value if he uses it to manipulate or to control situations. But then when you look at the man, his character, like you said, because I've been taught that. My father taught me that. He taught me how to look at the character. So I'm not impressed by it, but I understand how the vast majority of the world particularly women in those vulnerable situations, will look at it and see this is what a man is, and then they get caught up in the situation. So to me, it's not the sole source of value for a man. His ability to make money, as been said, is absolutely important because it requires a certain level of intelligence. If he can do it in the streets, he can certainly do it in the boardroom. But if he's doing it in the streets, that means there's a lack of value. There's something internally with him that's causing him to want to go the illicit route instead of using his intelligence to go the route where he doesn't end up in jail or prison for making the certain amount of money that he wants to make. So for me, no, it's not the only factor on how I determine, a man is valuable or not. I think when I was younger, I would look at the spending rams and think, oh, wow, they got all this money and cars and clothes. But because I had my father there to teach me what the principles of what it means to be a man, he was there to show me and teach me. That's the things I look at now. So
Yeah.
it's me seeing that it's lacking in him because most likely he didn't have a father in the home to teach him those principles so he can do perhaps like say what I'm doing as a stock trader, making the kind of money that you can make in the street without me having to risk my life or someone else's life in the process of making.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, man. Yeah, no, I wanted to ask that question because see that guy right there, he would get selected. He would get selected by some of these young ladies out here, the drug dealer, the scammer, the street dude, because he got some money. So we're gonna look past the character. We're gonna look past, you know what I'm saying, if he going about things the right way, Vince say, some legal money. We're gonna look past all of that. And we're gonna say, because this dude got some money, he valuable. So that's the dude I want. And then the young lady get with that dude, and we already know how that story typically turns out. But see, that's because we've put so much value around money. And we've put the things that are actually sustainable, like character, personality, care for others, doing the right thing, being a stand-up guy. We've put that stuff to the side. That stuff now is just a compliment. Yeah, the money, the priority. The salary is the priority. But then I'll look at your character and what the lady say, if he a God-fearing man and all of that stuff. That stuff's secondary now. And see, that's how I know we done turned down the wrong road. Because see, that stuff
not the case
used
for Paco,
to be
right?
that stuff used to be the primary. So we got to think back. A lot of the fellas that came before us, they had money like that. They was working in the plant. Yeah, they came up from the South. They did some time in the military. They was making an honest wage, as we like to call it, an honest wage. They was getting their overtime. But see, the character, the personality, the structure, all of those things, that was the stuff that was important. If the money just that complimented the family, that allowed him to pay the bills, send some kids through school. These was average salary dudes, sending kids through school, had multiple kids. Yeah, but see, that guy now, today, he ain't respected because he don't make a lot of money. He don't generate a lot of income. Yeah, so we slide that dude to the side. He's the average man now. But yet, if we actually go back and think about it, a lot of us came from that same average man. Yep, and now that same dude that a lot of us came from, we don't even respect. It's crazy work. Go ahead, Chloe.
I was gonna say too, like I want y'all to catch it. The whole Paco thing was really just to give kind of like a metaphor or an example, right? Like we talk about how women, we talk about the whole passport movement. Men talk about how they do that because women of these other cultures seem to be connected to their femininity in a different way, connected to their value systems in a different way, connected to the idea of being submissive and being a wife and being a mom just in a different way than women in the Western world are, right? This is why men pop up the passport movement, right? Well, it's the same thing with guys, right? Because these women are all these things that you guys say they are, which is why you're looking to go to another country to partner with one of these women or to be able to meet one of these women. That's what he's saying. That's why Paco has it the way he has it. That's why Paco's value isn't just his monetary contribution. Although he's working too, he's making money. You know what I'm saying? It might not be the kind of money some of the men on this panel see, but he's making money, right? He's there, like Vince said, in the home, and they are a family, and he's one of those average men that's providing for his family, right? Why I'm saying this is because I speak to women. So whether we're having a conversation about men or we're having a conversation about women, for the most part, I'm going to try to direct the majority of my conversation from a female perspective to females, or what a female can pull from this, right? Because at the end of the day, a man's money should not be the key to unlock your submission. That's crazy, right? Like, of what I know of my sis, Miss Remy, she was already that. She was that already. However, being with Vince has allowed her to have an easier experience being a mom, being a wife. But she was already that. She was that. Because you should already be that as a woman, right? It's wonderful if a man can make your life easier in that sense. That's wonderful. It definitely does take that load off and that pressure off. It does. It absolutely does. But as a woman, you should already know how to respect your man, be submissive to your man. You should already know how to operate in your femininity. You should already know the value of what it means to be a mother, to be a wife, and the integral role and part that you play in the family structure. That you should already know. No man should have to wave a check or wallet or pocketbook, checkbook, in your face to make you that. So any woman saying, I need him to be able to afford me a certain type of life before this will unlock my submission is crazy.
And another thing is Chloe, when we were talking, because me and Remy talk a lot to single people, and I think a lot of women have wasted so much time with failed potential that now it's can't waste time on potential. You got to already come with it, which I kind of understand, but you should have been more intentional in the beginning. And I never use myself as an example because most people got to work. Two people got to work. So most people are not going to be able. One person not going to be able to afford the lifestyle, and so these are outliers. Me, Quay, probably we outlier. Most people go after work. So I don't even use me as an example. But the thing about it is that all these other cultures get together earlier. That's what we need to be pushing. Talking about relationships, you should be thinking about marriage younger. So you won't wait, because me and Remy talk about all the time. She didn't even think that she even wanted to be married until she was in her 30s. She never thought about it. They never talked about it. And then when you finally say, okay, now I want to be married, now you a kid in, you're a boatload of debt, you're 35, when you should have been doing it at 25. It's just easier to have all this hope and expectation when you don't have you ain't dragging a lot of stuff with you. And I understand Quay's point. And I understand that, but most of these other cultures, all my neighbors married under 30 probably. No kids, they building together, they went to college together, their families know each other, they ain't meet nobody at the gas station pumping gas. They meeting them at church like we used to, and that's what worked for us.
Yeah.
They meeting them at church where you knew their mamas, you knew how they were raised, you knew their spirituality to a certain extent. But now we coming with so much other stuff, and and that's why it almost have to be perfect to work. And then you also have to understand this generation have not seen men in authority. Some of these, they say the first male teacher they had was in college.
Right.
Because you got to remember, people ain't churching like we was churching, Quay. You know, where the mother of the church can tell you, hey, Chloe, put a slip on, I can see your legs.
Right.
You know, where Deacon Ed was telling you to take that hat off, go get your hair cut. You're not gonna get a job unless you got your hair cut. So we gotta remember, we not being raised with these values and morals like we used to be. We being raised on take care of yourself, do what you need to do, live your best life, and then try to figure out when you're 35 and a kid in and a boatload of debt in, and now you want to be with somebody because of possible.
That's real. No, that's real
So
right there.
that's what I mean by that. It's easier to, you know, because you you know, people ain't nobody people. It's a very small majority of men who even make six figures. So all that he got to make six figures. That's, you know, sometimes people set themselves up to fail. It's like
No,
if
that's
I'm
real.
short and fat and I want Beyonce, that's probably not going to happen, Mr. Williams.
Nope, that ain't happening, man.
Not going to happen. So that's what I get. You know what I'm saying? And I know sometimes I come off as kind of black or white, but I kind of am black and white. But I'm just saying though that we gotta. That's the key. I think we gotta be more intentional early on.
I got you.
You
That's
know,
real.
we
That's
already
real.
halfway through the race, and now we want a superstar.
No, that's real. Let me let Cole get in here. I saw it come off. Go ahead, Cole. It's on you.
To the topic, so I would say a little bit what Vince said. I believe that, and from my perspective, there's probably like three kind of situations that I've seen where the preparation does start early.
Mhm.
So yes, definitely in the church. If it's like a mega church, definitely. I mean, um, I would say most families that I've seen with the two-parent household, like I've seen kind of a lot of that discussion. And then two families that I would like black families I would consider to be wealthy. I think they're in some aspects have been traditional in, you know, dating and all that type of stuff. Um, so I would say what's missing now too is, I mean, we're not really that community oriented. It is definitely very for myself.
Why
So
not?
why aren't we community oriented anymore?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, that's a huge. I don't know if I had a full answer to that. I
You can
don't
simplify it for
know.
me. You can
I don't know.
simplify it for me. Why not? What's the problem? What's the hold up?
Well, I think basic communication and relation dynamics. We don't know how to build relationship anymore. Like simple like friendship, neighbor, that basic structure isn't there anymore. And I see that in a lot of settings. I see that in a lot of settings. You got, people that look like us all standoffish and I don't want to talk, or is it just kill you to give a compliment? I'm like,
Let me ask you this, Cole, because you bring up a
mm-hmm.
good point. So you
Uh-oh.
said, we not really said that we're not really community, we're not really community anymore like we used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that we still, let me put it this way, do you think that we are still open to relationships? And I'm gonna specify. The general question is, do you think that we're still open to relationships? And I'm gonna go a little farther. Do you think we still allocate the proper amount of time for successful relationships today?
Okay. Specify what a specify. Are you talking about like general friendship? Are you talking about dating, or is it all of the above?
Yeah, I'm talking about dating to serious relationship to marriage. Do you think that we still allocate the proper amount of time or prioritize time for relationships to actually get to the point of being successful and then being married? Do you think we still do that?
Now my experience is different.
I wasn't calling out your personal. I'm just asking. I'm
I'm
just
just
asking.
I gotta figure out what lens I'm looking at it through.
Go ahead.
Um,
Go ahead.
I from what I've seen and what I've seen kind of work, I would say in relation to time now, I would say no, we don't invest enough time. And
Mm.
I think because relationships, and that I would say that's a recent revelation. And I think it was some relationships that I was seeing that people were like together, since like high school, and then they, went through life a little bit and they're still together, blah blah blah. So I say all that to say, to really know somebody, it does take time. Like a year is not enough. There is a lot to figure out about a person, and it also depends on their level of honesty throughout the process. Like that can definitely mess with the timeline too. um, but no, it takes time, to know their family, to know, how they are around their family, life goals. It, you can't really know. To me, you can't really know all of that truthfully in a year. It takes more time.
So,
Process.
yeah. So
Yes.
I,
Wait
yeah,
a
no,
minute.
I feel,
Guess what
I feel what you, I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. So it definitely takes time. So I agree with that. But the reason I was asking that question is because I know it takes time,
Hmm.
but do we actually move that way, or do we prioritize it that way?
No,
Yeah, but see,
it's
I don't.
Instagram. We
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
prioritize
think
no,
we
we
Instagram,
don't.
do.
Facebook, social media. We prioritize texting. It's a very short term mindset thinking, a very microwave mindset process now. And then so it wasn't like that when I was growing up. The payphones and all this stuff shows my age. But then it's like suddenly, boom, you have kids who all they know is when they type seriously is SRSLY. So your attention span, you do that enough times, you don't even know how to speak properly. You don't know how to communicate properly. You start trying to talk in memes and shorthand, but that's not how real life works when it comes to relationships. So I think people are open minded to relationships because we're human. We all want to have that, but it goes back to the point I made earlier about you can want to be a millionaire or you want to, but if you lack the skills, the mindset, and the ability to do it, you wishing, hoping, and dreaming to be a millionaire is not going to make you a millionaire. So we have had our natural equipment stripped from us, our natural ability to communicate. When you used to go outside and play with the kids and there wasn't a cell phone in your hand, recording every single moment or taking a picture of every single thing that you do. So we lack the ability to have a photographic memory anymore. We don't know how to get from point A to point B without a Google Maps. So like these things might seem insignificant and it's convenient on the surface. It's temporary, but it affects our mindset. It short circuits us, and then we we perceive that we don't have the time for all these things because it's easier to just click a button and get what we need, or watch a YouTube video or Instagram or some sort of dopamine hit where when it comes to relationships and building a friendship, developing a romantic relationship, that takes time. It's not an instant hit of dopamine. It's kind of like it's a slow burning effect. And a lot of people are like, well, why go through all this if I can just go here and get this and feel what I want to feel in the immediate circumstance that I'm in, which then hijacks their ability to create these relationships that they claim or that they say and genuinely do want.
Yes, and I think, like I said, I think just in short response, we don't. Yeah, we don't prioritize in that type of time for relationships. Yeah, I think this is why we always quote unquote are talking about, what I'm saying, wasting our time. It's because we fill our time up with so much other nonsense. Yeah, the relationship gets the secondary. It gets the relationship gets what's left.
Hmm.
Yep. After it's the I gotta chase this bag. After it's this, I gotta be at brunch. After it's, I gotta go shopping. After it's, I gotta go. The relationship gets what's left. Yeah, but that's partially why we never see the type of outcomes that we want to see in this relationship space, because we give it the what's left energy. Yeah, but that's why it happens. That's why people are saying you got to come to the table. You got to come in with this. You got to come in with that. Because we giving it secondary time. You know, we giving it back burner time. We don't prioritize relationships and the time that relationships take. To Nicole's point, it takes time to get to know somebody, especially if you want to thoroughly know them and see them in their element and see them in their space and engage with their family and this and that. That takes time. But see, we don't want to invest that time. Because like I said, we want to put that time on catching flights. We want to put that time on going to brunch every other day. We want to put that time on whatever little stuff we doing outside. That's where we want to put all that time. But then we just want the relationship to just fall in our lap with no type of investment in time, with no type of vetting, with no type of getting really understand and know who you're dealing with. And that's why we see what we see. It's really that simple.
But
go ahead, Vince. I saw you come off, Vince. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make a quick. I think the problem is that we don't know ourselves, and we're not intentional. I heard so many people say, "I want to be married," but then you dating somebody for 4 years. Why you not married? I thought you said you wanted to be married. It don't take. I'm sorry, a man who has himself together and wants a wife finds a wife, and it don't take him a long time to do it. If he truly got himself together, I mean, he ready.
That's the key.
He stopped cheating. He wants to be committed. He got his plan together. It don't take him a long time to find a wife. He ain't dating nobody for 5, 10 years. The problem is that we're not intentional. We say we want something and then we get something else. You know, I don't think men fall into marriage. I think men want to be married from the beginning. I don't think men date and be like, oh, I think I want to be married. At a certain age. I'm talking about over 35. I'm not talking about 21, 22. And I think that's the problem. Then we want to jump to relationships and we're not over one relationship. We want to piggyback off a relationship. You know, we got something in our hand, but then we want to put something else in this hand and try to make this work. Because I think you can learn everything you need to know about somebody in 6 months if you're really paying attention. If you're really paying attention, and if you close your legs long enough, you can know how he is with his family in 6 months. You can know how he works in 6 months. You can know how he treats his kids. If it take him a month to tell you that he has a kid, he ain't no father. That should be the first couple. That should be really the first conversation. Oh, I got a son. He 2. You know, me and the mama was childhood sweethearts. But we don't ask the questions. Oh, I don't want to get in his business. Oh, I got something I want to hide. That's the problem. You don't need you can learn everything you need to know if you asking the right thing in 6 months. And then if it's after 6 months, then you making excuses.
Okay. There it is.
And if one of y'all give me an example, I prove you wrong. You know if he working 6 months. If he job to job, if he late all the time and you got to call him to wake him up to get him to go to work, he don't want to go to work. If she giving them kids juicy juices and Doritos and you go over there and the laundry is all on the floor, she ain't a clean woman.
Man, you and this juicy
If he don't talk to his mama, he ain't got no relationship with his mama. If he don't talk, oh, she don't let me see the kids. Well, have you went to court? Well, no, I don't want the government in my business. He's an idiot. I don't want the man to tell me what to do with. we just don't ask the right questions. I had a lady tell me, and this was the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. She had never been to her husband's job in 12 years. and found out he was lying about his job. And then one of her dumb friends gonna say, "Well, everybody don't go to their spouse's job." What? Dumbest. So we just don't add you know whatever you need to know in 6 months, but you just making excuses.
Right. No, that's
And just
real.
keep
That's
it
real.
100.
Man, I got one little random, then we gone. This some most funny stuff right here. I'm gonna see what y'all say.
A man is dating two women, Crystal and Mia. He told Crystal about Mia, but told Mia she's the only one he's dating. Which one does he love the most?
Oh,
Y'all
play
need
that
me to,
again?
y'all need me to run that
Yeah.
back?
Yeah, I do.
I'll run that.
That's easy.
Hold on, let
Wait,
me
say
run it
it
back.
again.
Let me run it back. Hold on.
A man is dating two women, Crystal and Mia. He told Crystal about Mia, but told Mia she's the only one he's dating. Which one does he love the most?
Oh, Crystal. All right, y'all have a
Neither.
great night.
Neither.
Right.
What? Hold on. Let me go down the line. Drop a comment. Let me know what y'all say. Drop a comment. Let
Either.
me know what y'all say. Let me
Oh,
go
and it's
down the
different.
line. I'm gonna
She
get
said
one
which
more
one
time.
the
Hold
two.
on, one more time.
It wasn't a correction.
Let me make sure I heard her right.
A man is dating two women, Crystal and Mia. He told Crystal about Mia, but told Mia she's the only one he's dating. Which one does he love the most?
All right, so let me go across the top and work my way around. Chloe, what you say?
I mean, okay, so my real answer is that he don't love either one of them. However, in this crazy mixed up, society, perhaps he's lying to Mia because he likes her more or loves her more or whatever. That's all I got.
Interesting.
I got you. Cole, what you say, Cole? What you say?
Um, exactly what Chloe said. But at the end of the day, he's lying to both. If you are a person of integrity, then to me, it shouldn't be an issue of you explaining why you're openly dating. Like, hey, I'm speaking to this person at a particular time, but it may not be working for this reason. So to me, I have decided to open myself up again to date again, or to openly date. If we talking about under the spirit of being intentional.
I got you. Okay, let me go over here to Vince. Vince, what you say, man?
I think that she should first of all use who he likes the most, because when you love somebody, you don't lie to them. Now, I think he sees a future with Mia, and Crystal is just a smash buddy.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, I feel that. I appreciate that right there. JR, what you think, man? You still there? Go ahead.
Yeah. I love both, but I love Mia more in it. So I gotta put it a little heart, man. You know, can't hurt heart, man. She,
So
baby,
you
see
say
you
you
in your
love
own,
Mia more,
man.
huh?
Yeah, see you in your own, man.
Oh, that's wild. Okay. I appreciate that, man. Joe, what you say, Joe?
Man, I like Vince's and Chloe's answer. I do, and I understand that. But who does he love the most? Is the one he's most honest to. Even though it might seem like he's protecting Mia from his dishonesty, he maybe in his head he thinks, "Oh, I love her more, therefore I'm not telling her this." But by not telling her, the dishonesty it sets a precedent. Eventually, she finds out. Eventually, word gets around town, and things aren't going to work out anyways. But at least with Crystal, she knows up front what time he is, what time he's on, and he's not having to pretend or play a game with her. I think he cares more about Crystal than he does about Mia. But in his mind at the moment, I'm not going to tell her because that's the one I want to wife up. but it's not going to work out in the end with her. It'll work out better for Crystal because she's the one that knows who he really is, at least in that situation. So I think it's Crystal.
Okay. All right. Now I appreciate that, Lester. That was a curveball that got sent over. Yeah, I'm in agreement with this answer right here. I'm gonna say neither.
Neither.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
That's
neither.
not the question, though. You can't. That's a cop out. Come on. You said the most.
You got to answer the question. You got to answer the question.
It's hard.
Miss
It's a hard
Harris.
question.
All right.
You got to answer
Hold
the
on.
question, Miss Harris.
I got y'all.
We all-
Let me
do
get
nice.
this one last time. Let me get it one last time. Hold on. Just so I make sure. Hold on.
A man is dating two women, Crystal and Mia. He told Crystal about Mia, but told Mia she's the only one he's dating. Which one does he love the most?
So I guess after the rewatch, I guess I gotta say Crystal then. I guess it's Crystal.
Okay. Yeah, we right. You're right. You're right about that. We won.
Yeah, I guess it's Crystal. All right, man. That's just for a little fun. Let's see. Y'all been sending some wild stuff lately, but I said I gotta make sure I play it all. All right, man. We got to get the heck up out of here, man. It's been a long one, man. I'm gonna go across top and bottom, then we gone. Chloe, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No. I'll just say real simply, like I think that at the end of the day, we have to focus a little bit more on how do we course correct, right? Right now, we are obviously heading down a very specific road, right? This is the course that our life is taking. And anybody with any kind of sense can see that this is not going to end well. This feud is not going to age well. Even if it is just a social media feud, some people say there is no feud once you get off the internet. I would say that maybe there's no feud once you get off the internet, but there's definitely agenda that exists outside of the conversations that we have that are encouraging the conversations that we're having. They're fueling the conversations that we're having. So I would just say, let's start taking a look at the root of some of these things. I really think that's what we need to do. Because if we stop looking at each other as the problem, like, well, men are the problem, women are the problem, and start looking at it like there is a problem. How did we get here? And why are we here? Like, start asking the right questions, and then we can actually get to the root of the problem and start attacking the root of the problem. And honestly, a lot of it is our mindset. We have allowed external forces, just like that young lady in the video who said she allowed people to talk, be in her ear. We allow people to be in our ear. You know, it's society. We allow them to be in our ear so bad. A lot of women are walking around here right now, and the reason why their dads are no longer like who their dad. When they were growing up, their daddy was great. He was a hero and everything. I'm talking about those who did have the privilege and the honor, whatever you want to call it, of having their fathers in their lives. He was the greatest man ever. Couldn't tell them nothing about their daddy. Now, just like Quay said earlier, they would look at their own fathers like he's not good enough. We've allowed all these external forces and opinions and thoughts and perspectives to color our perspective. Now we don't really know what we like. We don't know what we want anymore. I agree with Vince. They don't know what they want. Women don't know what they want. Men don't really know how to be. I'm gonna say, unpopular opinion alert. Men don't know how to be men anymore. They don't. They don't know how to be men. They don't know how to be masculine. Women don't know how to be women. They don't know how to be feminine. They don't know what their value is. That's why they value the wrong things about themselves. And I'll land there and I'll just say, these are the types of questions we should be asking. How did we get here and how do we reverse it? And it really starts with changing our mindset. The hardest thing to do and the thing we want to do the least is how we're going to get ourselves out of this. Period.
Facts. Appreciate that closing right there. Cole, it's on you. You want to say anything before we get out of here? Oh, you quiet? This ain't normal right here. You ain't got nothing to say? Wow. Okay. All right, Cole. Don't try to backtrack later now. All right, Vince, it's on you, man. You got anything you want to say, man?
Well, I take Cole's time. I think the mindset, we do have to change the mindset. And back to the topic, I think that we need to go into marriage more intentional, more with vetting and understanding that marriage is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Everybody wants the quick race. The race is given to the, I don't know, I don't how I go Cole. The race is not given to the quick, but those that endure to the end. I know I'm kind of saying that wrong, but
It's not given to the swift.
give it to the
Mm-hmm.
swift, but those that
Mm-hmm.
endure to the end. And
Mm-hmm.
nothing is perfect. And I do think a lot of people wish they could go back to that first marriage, that one true love, as most people would say, from that first marriage, that first love. But I think it's a cultural thing. I think our culture is trash. We've turned away from everything that kept us strong. We turned away from the church. We've turned away from family. We I think God has just turned us over to a reprobate mind.
That part.
And I don't know how to fix it with everything in our society perpetuates us being separate. And then now you can't tell the truth. You can't give your opinion unless it falls in with everybody else or how everybody else think, which does us as a community of black people no good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think we still have to keep talking about it, I guess.
Yeah,
True.
no, that's facts, man. I appreciate that, man. I think, just to respond to that, Vince, and I'm gonna come to you, JR. Just to respond to that, I think we have to continue to point out the fact that the mindset is incorrect. Yeah, let's say some of these things that we've taken on, we've made them correct. We've made them the way to do it or the way to go about things, and it's still incorrect. Yeah, but we seeing the outcome from it. It's not working. Yeah, but it's not working. Yes, I think we have to continue to show that it is incorrect and give the reasons why it's incorrect. Then I think we will start to see a difference. But right now, yeah, but ain't nobody telling nobody it's incorrect. We just saying, oh, it is what it is. It is, what we say, I said what I said. That's how we move it. But yeah, the stuff is still incorrect. We got to call it what it is. All right, JR, it's on you, man. You want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, so yeah, thanks again for having me on and chopping up with the panel. Um, so yeah, I think like I said earlier regarding the first video, the lady not being intentional or whatever it is. I think um men today also aren't intentional for multiple reasons, but at the same time, you still have to be serious as an individual. Like you said, as yourself, you gotta be a man and stand up to your own core principles and whatnot, and don't follow what's out there, right? So I get what you said earlier, but like I always say, um, we need to come back together. Like the system, like Miss Cross said, they're fueling it, and we're just lapping it up and adding more fuel to the fire, and it just pushes us further apart. So yeah, like I always say, let's put our egos to the side, come back together to the table instead of what do you bring to the table. No, no, no. Let's both come and have a sit down to the table. You know, let's both sit down and have that conversation as men and women, because we can most definitely figure this out. We can. But like we said, the mindset, we're choosing quite the opposite. Hence why nothing's ever going to improve in this current moment in time. So, you know, we just got hope, but it shouldn't be hope. But I know it's not the ideal world, but we just got to keep working and keep pushing. And eventually it's going to come. You know, if, like I always say, if it's not for us, then at least for the younger generations, we just make sure they've got it together.
It's real. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that closeout. Joe, it's on you, man. You want to say anything before we get out of here?
JR said that we should come to the table and work these things out and have a conversation. I think that's an idealistic approach, and I think ultimately that's what we all want to happen. But the reality is that we're the only ones here that's having that conversation. Those of us who don't need to hear it the most are the ones having the discussions, not the people who are actually going through it and experiencing it. It's going through one ear and out the other with them, or they're not trying to hear it until it's too late, and then they want to talk about it. And that's when they come to the table for negotiations. But of course, by that time, you have nothing left to negotiate. So the conversations that, to the people where these conversations need to be reached to, they're not listening to that. They're listening to Cardi B, or they're listening to, I don't know, NBA YoungBoy. They're listening to all these other different influencers who have millions of followers, but they're not listening to conversations like this on a small channel of this nature. It's these are conversations we're willing to have, but the people that it needs to be had with, they're not having these conversations. It's just not going to happen. What would have to take place for those conversations to happen would be a total revamp of, I think, the school system. Number one, the lack of parenting and the lack of family structure. Number two, and then just the cultural values. Number three, and I don't see that happening anytime soon, unfortunately. So kind of like a lost cause, really. But idealistically, that's a more pessimistic view. Optimistically, it's like, yeah, there's still some hope left at the end of the rainbow. Um, and to Vince's point about the God turning us away to a reprobate mind, yeah, it's we have free will. He will let pigs just roll around in their own squalor. And so that's the choice we have, and that's the choice that we make collectively, obviously, as Americans in this society. And Corey talked about Paco and their culture and how other people in perhaps the Philippines do things or Japanese do things. It's very different. So fortunately, this is not a worldwide problem, but we do recognize this is a uniquely American or Western society problem. Or actually, it is American. I know JR talked about it being an issue in Britain as well, or the UK rather. So it's affected a small portion of the world, but you just hope to God it doesn't spread like a virus and affect the rest. Because then we have a real issue on our hands. But I think because we are America and a lot of people look up to America, that makes it very, very bad for the rest of the world because of our influence on the rest of the world due to the media that we also consume is being spread out in abundance elsewhere in the world. So you just hope and pray that, people don't really care to learn English or they're not a fan of American culture because what used to be good American culture has turned us inside out. And if it did it to us, and we live here, how much worse will it do to people who admire and look up to us as the example of what a good culture should be?
It's real. It's real. No, I appreciate that closeout right there, Joe. Go ahead, Chloe.
Just real quick, I want to say this. I think that if we want conversations like this to take a larger stage, we have to be the ones to do that. This is a small channel that's growing, and I think that if you have watched it, you are watching it. You will watch the replay. I think that if you think these conversations are important, which they are, share the show. Just like Eva said, are you sharing the show? Are you talking about it? Are you promoting it? Are you waiting for someone to ask you to? Are you waiting for somebody to pay you to do it? I mean, if these are conversations that are important, which they are, then let's build this platform. Let's make it a bigger platform. There are huge platforms here on YouTube where real important conversations get had. They're going viral. Voices are being heard. You know, it takes engagement. It takes interaction. It takes when I flip that like button, you like it. When I flip that share button, you share. I mean, let's just be honest. Let's just have that conversation. So if we want these conversations to spread, that's how it works. One person tells another person tells another person. Next thing you know, you have people, joining the show week after week that didn't join the week prior. Let's build this platform. This is our platform. We didn't start this platform just to make money. Nobody's making money. So we do this for the love. So if you find any value, if you're, in this particular platform, in these conversations, then share them. We have to stop talking about what's a lost cause and what's not going to work and what's this and what's that before we've done our due diligence to make it successful. Support your platforms. Support, good content. Get it out there. I mean, I think it's time out. Like for me, 2024 is just time out for making excuses. It's time out for saying this, that, and the third. You can change somebody's life from one conversation. One. Because all you do is plant seeds in that conversation. And they get watered. So my takeaway from this whole what do we do now is let's continue to have the conversations and let's share them. Let's make sure more people are a part of the conversation. This is the World Wide Web. Literally, you have access to an indiscriminate amount of people. So, let's do the work. If we really mean what we say and this is important to us, then let's do the work. Because we're doing the work. Everybody has a part to play.
That's real right there. Appreciate that. But man, shout out to everybody who joined us tonight, man. Great conversation. I know it got a little hot around here, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we got to make some changes. Yeah, we're going about some things incorrectly. I think we're seeing the outcomes from it. And we got to make some changes. It's as simple as that. Yeah, we've taken on some selfish mindsets. We've inflated some of our values a little too high, and it's not going to play out like we think it is going to play out. Yeah, so we got to make some changes. And then the last thing, and then we gone. Yeah, but old school ain't always bad. Yeah, folks before us knew some things that we somehow today don't know. They knew how to get along. They knew how to thrive with each other. They knew how to move forward as families and such, but somehow we've gotten away from those things and lost sight of those things, and we got to get that back. Yeah, we got to get that back, and we have to respect some of those mindsets and some of those things that they were doing before us because they knew something that we don't know or something that we've forgotten today. So yeah, it's on us. We got to make some changes, or it's going to continue to be the way it is. And I don't think that's what we want as a collective. Well, man, shout out to everybody who joined us tonight. Shout out to my panel, Chloe, JR, Vince, Cole, Joe. Appreciate y'all holding me down tonight on the panel. Shout out to everybody in the comments as well. We appreciate you guys checking in with us every Wednesday night, supporting the channel. Shout out to all my YouTube people out there, all my Facebook people out there. Man, this is Kandid Konvos. We do this show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We go live on YouTube and Facebook. So if you have not already, hit that like button, hit that share as well, hit that subscribe. And man, check out some of our other videos. We got so many great conversations out here. We've been doing this for some years now. So definitely check out some of the other videos, drop some comments, drop some likes on those videos as well. Help us grow the platform. But man, with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. We're gonna catch y'all next Wednesday.